Gents, welcome to TSG UNCUT. I am your host, Sean C. Today, we are going to, sorry, got to get everything together. Today, we're going to talk about why men need to be on their purpose from now on. I have some clips that are going to illustrate more of the reason that as a man that is trying to date or have a relationship here in modern Western culture, that is going to be even more difficult going forward, or just that when we see it, that if this hasn't emphasized to you what we see here in the modern Western dating, that you need to work on certain things and focus on you and what you can bring to the table in terms of being the best version of yourself, then I hope these clips will shed more light on this so that going further into 2023, we're already a quarter of the way through 2023, which is insane. It is already March, and today officially makes 5 years ago where I moved to Vegas. So today, obviously, I spent some time out of the country last year, and I spent some time, also with my family and stuff. But I got to say that coming back here, I've reviewed hundreds of videos, and I've probably looked at thousands, okay, in my time doing this. And I will say that now being back out here in Vegas, which, I really can't think any other place I'd want to live in the States other than here right now. Being out, right? Because I go out. I've been going out, right? I gotta keep up appearances, if you will. I see more of the things that I bring up here on the channel, right? I start to see a lot of that type of stuff. And again, in the future of this channel, right? Eventually, like I said, I'm going to start a Patreon, whatever like that. And eventually I'll start giving you guys inside looks to what I see out when I'm out and stuff like that. So I'll let you guys know when that comes about. All right. So listen, first of all, let me do this real quick. Do a quick shout out. If you come into the chat, I always shout out everybody and always shout out everybody on the way out that came through. So just want to give a shout out to Ennis. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Lucis is here. I will have to go before the end, but I want to make sure to support TSG UNCUT. Man, Lucis, man, I appreciate you. I'd like to get you back up here again on one of these channels, Lucis. But today, so I didn't put out a community post today. I know I'm really consistent. I don't know what happened, man. I just didn't feel good when I woke up today. And it's not like I did anything. I didn't go out, didn't drink anything. I actually went to the gym and I just kind of worked out some different muscle groups and kind of the ones that don't get as much attention. I try to give a day to doing that. And man, I just didn't feel right. So sorry about that. But tomorrow I'll be back on my normal grind. At least I hope to be. Depending on how I feel, but I'll let you guys know in the future. But listen, I don't want to keep this show. This is not going to be a long show tonight. My goal is to keep this show hour and a half tops, because I also want to be able to get to your comments and hear what you guys got to say. But the reason is because I just want to make sure I'm well rested so I can get back to work tonight on tomorrow's video, whatever that's going to be. Okay. Enid says, yeah, bro, I got to start working on myself and leave these hoes alone, bro. Got into a fight with a dude over one today and took an L. Jaw hurting like an MF. It's all good, though. I ain't tripping. Ennis, don't ever fight over these girls, man. Don't ever fight over any woman, man. I'm going to tell you that when I lived in upstate New York, man, I used to get in fights. I used to get in altercations because I just never got hit. But I got into altercations when I was up in New York. And I remember I told my mother about it, and she said, what are you doing? Are you going to ruin your career over these dumbasses out here? And then she told me something that has stuck with me since then, early 2000s. She said, baby, you can't punch stupid. And I'm like, God dang, Mom, coming with the elbow off the top rope. You know what I mean? So, so listen. Without further ado, I'm going to get back to your comments in a little bit. I want to jump right into this. Like I said, I don't want to keep this going for long, but I also want to leave time on the back end to hear you guys' comments and what you guys think. See, Lucis agrees. Never fight over a woman. Never do it, man. It's not worth it. And we're going to go over some clips today. And gents, we're going to go over these clips today. And I'm trying to take, y'all know I'm always trying to build narratives with the clips that I take. And there's a couple of clips that I pulled up today because there's a couple aspects that I want to highlight on today. Why I believe that you should work on your purpose. And I want to get into the first one now. Now, this first video clip, let me cue this one up. This first video clip is from a channel. I did a clip with this guy recently, and he's one of the first clips I did of 2022 when the channel was just starting to grow. But I want you guys to listen to this woman's mindset, all right? Now, ladies will argue and say, oh, well, dudes and this. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about this is what we are seeing as men. And this is the mentality of the modern women today, right? Let me go ahead and preface this by saying not all women, but you ladies know women that are just like the one I'm about to bring up right now, but y'all won't correct them. But you'll come on this channel and drop comments, trying to get a one-up, which I don't really care, right? If you don't support the channel, eventually I just block you anyway, okay? Let's go ahead and get this video going. I'm going to get to your statement here in a little bit, and let's get to this video.
I'm about this bread. Like, I need this.
Let me know if y'all can hear it in the comments.
But who said I was giving you money, though?
We going to figure it out.
No, but we're not figuring nothing out because I'm not giving you no money.
We're going to figure it out.
I'm telling you I'm not giving you no money. I'm not even joking right now.
Just give me a chance.
A chance for what? You're not getting no money from me. I don't know you. I just keep telling you that.
Damn, that's how you really feel?
I mean, yeah.
Like, I just really just want to get some money, like, and that's how you want to
treat me? Well, you might need to go to work.
You see this?
I do work, but I want money from you.
I don't even know you.
This is a title.
I look like giving you some money.
I just sat in your car for 10 minutes, told you my name, everything. You know a whole lot about me. It's time to get paid now. Now it's where my money at. Like, it's time to get some money now.
You hear this?
I promise you won't get $1 from me. That's a promise. And I don't care what.
I bet you I will.
I don't care what services you're trying to offer. I'm good. All that. I'm cool.
Wow. You ain't gonna pay for this?
No.
You see this?
No, absolutely not.
You're lost.
You're lost. This is what that is the mindset. Now, this is an extreme version. This is not to say that all women are out here like that. I want to make sure I make that clear. But let me let you guys know that I'm out in these Vegas nightclubs, right? I am out here seeing women with this type of mentality and this type of mindset, with this level of entitlement. I see it in their actions. I see it where they walk around. I see it how they talk to people. This isn't isolated. And I need you guys to understand that, okay? Again, I am here in Vegas. I see this. I see women do this to dudes. I see women walk around like you deserve to be giving them something. Like I'm here and I'm pretty, so you should just give it to me, okay? And not to mention, I was a bartender and I worked in these clubs, right? I worked there. I saw women's attitude shift when they saw me working there. Even though when I was working in a nightclub, I was just bussing tables, right? And even as a busser, women were like so quick to like, ooh, he work up in here. Maybe if I get to know him, right? Like, women were throwing themselves at me as a busser. Could you imagine what the bartenders that I know go through? You know what I mean? How much they get hit on, how much they go through. This is the mentality that we are seeing out here. It is sad. It is really sad, first and foremost, that this is, how can I put this so I don't anger the YouTube gods? This is legal solicitation, okay, if you will, of women's habeas corpus. Let's see what you guys got to say here in the comments, okay? You lucky you ain't getting hit, Sean. The dude I fought, not even gonna lie to you, bro. Buddy had hands like Goku. Well, the other reason why, like, I know not to fight now, first of all, it is idiotic. My mother had a great point, right? it's the quickest way to get yourself into jail. And if you're a black man, the last place you need to go to is go to jail and get some type of record, because that follows you. As soon as people see that, even if it's a misdemeanor, people look at you kind of sideways like, yo, you're a criminal, which I guess technically if you go to jail, you are. And the other part of it is, like, listen, you get older. Look, I know I could probably still throw some good haymakers, but there's a reason why fighters aren't good when they get older. Your reaction time is slower. In some cases, you're not as strong, which I argue that I'm actually stronger now than I was in my 20s. And I was a beast. And but the reaction time ain't there. You're just slower, man. You know what I mean? I can't dunk a basketball no more, but 5 years ago I could. So listen, there ain't no sense in trying to get in a fight with a dude. And the last part is you get older. You've lived some life, right? To getting to middle age, man, people think like, oh, you're still a young man, which is true, you are. But a lot of people don't make it. I know a lot of folk that ain't here. I know some of y'all listening to the sound of my voice got people that ain't here either. So what do you do to how do you become that old lion? You pick and choose your battles, but you stay alive. You make smart decisions. You become wiser. So that's what I'm going to say towards that. Okay. Thank you for being here, Obong. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And it says, all good though, fam. Yup. And then Lucy says, nothing wrong with taking an L. Just learn from and never repeat this action. Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about. Wow, she crazy. Yeah. I mean, like, the way she was just like, oh, you should give me this money. Like I don't even know what to say. It's sad that women they think they're putting high stock on themselves because, hey, I only deal with dudes that drive this car or this, that, and the third. Or, I got to look a certain way because I'm a bad bee, but you dress like you're a streetwalker, but then you wonder why these dudes got 7 kids trying to put shots up in you. I say that on YouTube? Or we'll see. They're trying to skeet because they only see you, like the dude said in that video, they only see you as a jump off. You know what I mean? So you're going to get treated that way. I ain't tripping, fam. I was just venting. Oh, no, bro, this is what this channel is for, man. Vent. We got your back. We just trying to tell you, man, you got to move smarter than that, man. Yeah, this dude in Houston exposing these 304 entitled women, gold diggers. Yeah, man. And again, I've already done 2 videos on this dude. Go check out his channel. It's called London's Way. He does this all the time, man. And the only thing I don't like about his channel is at one point he tried to pivot to talking about other things. Unfortunately, when you do YouTube and you start getting known for one thing, people want to see that thing. And people weren't listening to him when he was talking about just other things. They want to see him do these prank videos using real women who are actually who expose themselves. And he's doing a great job of it. The only thing is he typecasted his channel into being that type of channel. Right? And then it says, yeah, I feel you, bro. All good, man. I told you, man, look, TSG Uncut is for us to be able to talk about these issues. And it's definitely, I want it to be a place for men to be able to vent their frustrations, problems, share stories, all these different things. Because, in the past, we haven't had places like that. And so you guys don't know how many. I will let any woman come on this channel who's respectful, who's willing to listen to this issue from a man's perspective, hopefully to learn and hopefully maybe even to help better their own relationships. Because again, I told you guys, I am for people in long-term relationships and I am for people that are already married. I am for you guys. Go read any comment with those comments in it and you'll see my support under it always. But I am not support in marriage in its current form. So that I do not support new marriage as of right now, unless the laws change and unless behaviors and attitudes change. So that's just my thoughts on it. That's just the way I feel about it, right? Thank you, Born to Be Black. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here tonight. Seriously. So I have a lot more clips. Let me speed through these clips because, again, I want to be able to talk to you guys. But that was the first one. And that was a doozy already. So I just wanted to show you guys that first clip because I wanted y'all to see the entitlement that
what's your cutoff?
That modern women believe that they deserve your funds. They deserve the fruits of your hard work. Now, she said that she was sitting in that car for 10 minutes. I told you all about myself. Let's be real, everybody. Gents, ladies, let's be real about something. You have marriages that fall apart at a 50% clip. And what is one of the things that gets said that's the problem? You get here that there's a lack of communication. This woman sit in this car for 10 minutes and want him to trick off money to her. How much do you think you really know about a person in 10 minutes? Don't worry. I'll wait. More importantly, first impressions are important. Now, if you were going out and you were dating, or you were meeting somebody, getting to know somebody, it's going to take more than a few dates to really kind of feel a person out. And with me, to me, it takes time. Like, you got to prove yourself over a long distance of time for me to really trust you. So sitting in the car 10 minutes, the first impression I get is you're a gold digger. And that only thing that you in here for, you didn't, like he was saying, London was saying, you didn't come here to get to know me. You came here because you thought I had something that could benefit you, that was of value to you, not to me. Because everything, and if you really listen to modern women, everything that comes out of their mouth is always about them. Every time. Every time. And I got the next clip. This next clip, though, gents, ladies, is, I think, one of the problems that we're seeing with dating and relationships today, the reason why you have so many women waiting until they get older to be able to get into serious relationships, like hitting post 30 or, before their clock is ticking. I think the reason why so many women wait, and this is not just the only reason, right? We know careers and everything, but the reason I'm about to highlight right now, when I show you in this next clip, I believe that I think is that same entitlement that you take from that first clip and then imagine what this young lady is saying. Okay? And we're going to talk about this on the other side. Let me get to it. Sorry, I'm a little rusty on this, you guys.
What's your cutoff date by?
28, 30.
Like
The
the
age
cutoff,
that I
like
would
I need to be married by this age.
40.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
think you'll be able to get the best eligible bachelors by the time you're 40?
Yes.
So
Can't make it up, people. Cannot make this up. Listen, I don't care. Like, there are some exceptions, right? You do see some women who are 40 and they still can get guys. No one's disputing, and no rational man who knows and thinks about this stuff is not saying that a 40-year-old woman cannot find a catch. All right? That is not the case. And I have a story. I just met a gentleman at the gym the other day. He's 61. And so him and I were rapping for a while. And, he was talking about this. So it's not to say that you can't find a man at 40. But what this clip was illustrating is that a woman that is 40 is not going to have the same options as a woman in her 20s most of the time, because when men are ready to settle down, one of the things that they look for is that youth and vitality of a woman, but more so because she is young, quote unquote, fertile to be able to have children and procreate. That is one of the reasons. And listen, there are women that have kids after the age of 40. Hell, my mom had my little sister at the age of 45. So I'll just leave that there. So it is possible, but you're talking about, these are higher risk pregnancies. You're talking about the chance of fertility becomes lower. You are talking about the mortality rate of both the kid and the mother being lower post 35, right? These are all statistical facts. So usually a man that is even looking to date or will date a woman in her 40s is really at that point not looking for a woman with kids. He's looking for, a companion. Yes, Ennis, that is true. Okay. Let me get to a couple comments real quick. And it says, by the way, there is a content creator called Tay Tay Bebe. Yeah, she lives here in Vegas. That would be a great person to do a collab with. She's in Vegas too. Yeah, I know. Nice girl, bro. Both of you are great men advocates. Absolutely. Quick story on that, Innocent, for the gents. I actually saw her once on Tinder. I did. I saw her. I was like, God damn. I really want to do that collab. Because and not necessarily I'm saying that I know that she kind of runs in different types of circles out here, but I think she is a very good advocate for men. And I think that I would love to have that conversation with her. Because if you've seen her on other collabs, she is 100% for advocating for men, for good men, right? And she thinks that the dating market is messed up as well. So I would love to do that collab. 4 Up, what up, brother? Isn't 40 the beginning stage? 30 is, man, 30. She said 40 with confidence that she'll catch a valued man at 40. The fact the other ladies were laughing was proof of that woman's delusion. Yeah, because those women, obviously, Lucis had been on those channels, have done these different collaborations. And the one thing they know that after they've seen what happens to women after 30. And it's not to say, like, think about right now what women over 30 say now, right? Soon as woman hits 30, and then you don't want to settle down with her, she's like, see, you playing games. Whereas those women had from 18 all the way to 30 to play their games. A man doesn't come into his full value or start hitting, becoming most valuable until the age of 35 to about 55, where men are kind of starting to get into their careers and stuff. That's when a man has his most value. Think about the dudes, the average dudes who couldn't pull women when they were younger because, they didn't have a car, right? I saw a lot of girls in high school, and maybe you guys saw it too, but you saw a lot of girls in high school starting to date seniors, or they started dating low-level college dudes. Why? Those dudes had cars. Those dudes were starting to work. Those dudes had, money. They were a little bit more flashier. They seemed more mature than you. They were more developed physically than you were because they were older. So women always would look up, right? They always look up, but you don't really come into your full value. Your career, the career years for a man is post 30. I'm not saying you can't have a career earlier. I did. But I'm saying, really, when was my earning years? It was my 30s, man. The 30s is when I grinded it out to finish up and do what I had to do. And that is the case for most men. So here it is. You're coming into your full value as a man. And then, you're in your mid 30s coming towards your later 30s. You're starting to come into your value. You know exactly where you're at that point, or you're starting to get it. So then now you're playing games because other women see value in you. Yet and still, when those women were 18 to 30, they got to rip and run the street. They got the 304 it. They got to have hot girl summer. They got to do all these things. They got to have their fun. And now, because their clock is ticking, you got to settle down with them. It's unrealistic, man. And then you get used WAP, right? You get used WAP. You get them guts beat up by Chad, Tyrone, Pookie, and Ray Ray, even beating it up for 12 years, and now you get the leftovers. And in some cases, you guys got to also take care of somebody else's kid at the same time. Hell on that. Man, you stupid if y'all take that deal. All right? Damn, for real? Wow. Yep, true stuff, man. Crazy. It is insane, man. It's insane. Never saw that. Yep. I meant 40 is the beginning of the end. You know what? Again, that's not for all. I got to tell y'all that story about the guy I met at the gym. But yeah, I was totally wrong. It's 30. Yep, it's 30. It's all good. Donsky Chan TV, man. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you very much. Yes, Idol, I love it. Thanks for this. Yeah, man. I got more coming, you guys. Again, I'm not going to keep y'all here long tonight. I know I always say that, but tonight I really promise it, right? I got a lot of stuff to get through. But I want to bring up that story. So for any ladies watching, you saying, well, a woman at 40 can't find a value man. I'm not saying that's not true, but it's, again, you're not you're not getting your best value. You get your best value as a younger woman because men value a woman's youth and vitality. They just do. There's a chart out there that shows men's preferences over the age of women, and you have the age of women, the age of men, and then even the men as they go up, they may talk to older women, but their preference stays concentrated down in the lower end. Okay, so maybe you turn 50. Well, at that point, maybe now you look at value in a 30-year-old woman. Okay, so this guy I met at the gym, he was ex-military as well, and we was just bouncing back and forth, thanking each other for each other's service. And but he's doing really well for himself. And this dude was yiked. Okay, he was yiked, right? And he was telling me, he was inviting me to over to a cigar bar that's a lot of different people go there. So I think I might actually do that once. And again, this is the kind of stuff that I want to be able to like start a Patreon channel for. Because when I tell you this kind of stuff, I'll be like, hey, I'll put the video over on Patreon showing you my time there. So it's coming, gents. I just got to take some time and do my research, okay? But it's coming. But anyway, this guy is 61 years old. And he was getting hit on, or he was saying that women were coming at him, still looking good, still in the gym, still working out. Because that's the thing, ladies. If you're going to be 40 years old, you got to keep yourself looking right. You got to keep yourself looking tight. And same with the gents, man. Just because you hit 40 don't mean you should stop. You should be keeping up on your health, men and women. If you want to get the most value out of the people out there, you have to work on yourself. And that's part of what we're talking about today with purpose. I'll get there. But this gentleman was saying that the women that come hit on him now, like, you would think that it would be women his own age, right? Women expect like, oh, you're 60, so you should be talking to a 60-year-old woman, maybe at the worst in her late 50s. But this dude is in great shape, no homo, but, he was keeping himself up as a man. And then, he obviously makes money. He drove a nice car. He's congregating with other men that have value and resources, right? These are all the things that Kevin Samuels talked about on his channel, about men starting to increase their value and then making sure that the circle of people that they're with have some type of value instead. That's a high value man. Now, I'm not saying this dude is rich, but this dude is obviously, when we were talking, he kind of brought up something about investments and stuff like that. So this man is doing very well, okay? This dude was like, yeah, I go 50s, but he said, I still get women in their 40s that like me. And that's what you can do if you've established your value, if you go ahead and keep care of yourself, if you go ahead and have a good circle. But the thing that he told me, the most valuable thing that him and I both agreed on, and you guys have all heard me talk about it here on this channel, the most valuable thing to a man, especially as he gets older, is his peace. And that's what he said he values. So he says, I let him know up front, if you disturb my peace, I can't keep you around, because nothing is more important than my peace. And I told him that too. I said, my engineering background, I could be making tons of money, but nothing is more valuable than my peace. Nothing. So we'll get there. Where we at? Trev T says, real talk. Thank you for being here. And that shit starts in middle school. Yep. Yo, Trev, you ain't lying. You had middle school girls. I'm from New Orleans, right? You had middle school girls talking to dudes that was in high school. Man, it was disgusting, right? Yeah. Yo, TSG, you better network. Give us that content. Lucis, you know what, man? You are absolutely correct. And I need to put that on my to-do list, man. I'm messing up. It will be on I need to get this Patreon started. Cause I want to be able to I really want to take this channel and be able to be I can say I'm not being myself, but I have to self-censor everything I say on this channel, man, because I have to censor everything, bro. So And then I want to start that Patreon because that's where you guys will be able to get exclusive content from my traveling, from my dealings out here in Vegas, the stuff that I see, that I can keep it unedited or keep it raw, talk to you guys in real. If you guys are interested, let me know. Okay. Oh yeah, Trev T. It starts in middle school. Yeah, they were talking to high schoolers, man. Craziness. And it says, I hope you're up for a couple hours, bro, because this is good content to sit in my car and listen to while I rub my jaw and wait till these knots on my forehead go down. You know what, though, bro? It's all good. As Lucis said, man, you know what? Laugh about it. And it's laugh about it, bro. Just laugh about it. Okay? And then guess what you're not going to do after that? You will never fight over a woman again, nor should you. If you are valuable and you have your value, all right, then there's no reason to fight, because a woman that really sees your value isn't going to put you in some position where you have to fight over her. A woman of value isn't going to make you chase. She's going to let you know that you're valuable to her. She's going to want to give you her time. That's why, why I always knew, like, when, you don't hear from a woman, she expecting you to chase her, she don't see the value in you. But I remember, and I know all of the women that have ever really yo, you're the one. They reach out to me. They see the value in me. But you have to make yourself that man that's valuable that they want to do that. Okay. If you care about such things, I'll say that too. All right. Lucy says, if a man keeps in shape, has financial stability, that man has options in women from 18 to 99. Absolutely. And listen, I got invited to this cigar bar on this Friday. So if I do not come out with content on Friday, okay, hear me out now. I will try to put a community post and I will try to do a YouTube short. But if you don't see a long form video on Friday, it's because I prepared myself to be ready to go to the cigar bar and to be able to check it out. I will do some filming around there. I'm not going to be too obvious about it, but I do want to film some of it. And I'm going to tell you guys what happened with that, okay? As far as the type of people that was there and my experience. We'll talk about it on next week's live stream. That's what I'll do. We'll talk about it on next week's live stream, right? So mark my words. That's my goal to get there, okay? Oop, let me write it down because I almost forgot the name. There we go. All right. So I'm going to check that out. Ennis, thank you for the $2 super chat. You the best, bro. When them taxes drop, I got you. Man, look, man, you guys, this channel is for you guys, man. And you guys' support means a lot to me. All right, we need to get to the next video. I told you I was going to keep this thing moving a little bit better than I'm doing because I do have a lot of stuff to get to. All right. So another problem that we're noticing here, again, Ennis, thank you for the $2 super chat again, bro. I appreciate you so much. Everything that you guys give me as far as these super chats, man, it really just goes back into the channel, man. I pay for services to try to make things better on this channel, try to keep the quality up, try to keep everything going, man, try to keep the lights going on all this stuff. So it's you guys that are supporting and paying for the channel. When you watch the videos, man, when you guys comment, you're supporting the channel too. But every dollar helps, okay? I appreciate you guys. All right. So we're going to go back to the Fresh and Fit channel. Okay. Now, we talked about these two young women in the previous two clips. The first one, straight gold digging. The other one thinks that her value is going to last. Like, she thinks she's going to have the same value at 40 as she does in her early 20s. Okay. And that's just not true. That is not true overall for most women. It's not to say you can't, ladies. It's saying that for most women, your value is going to go down, but all of our value slightly goes down. But if a man, as Lucis talked about, has worked on himself and done these things, his value will increase just a little bit. Maybe he can't get young women the same way, but his options on women are going to expand greatly from that of when he was a snot-nosed 20-year-old with no job, no car, and, or basically, was sharing an apartment with roommates and they had a sheet as a divider for the room. Yes, that guy isn't going to have that much value because women are hypergamous creatures. They want to make sure you got something. The only people that get away with that is the Chads and the Tyrones that have a certain look, because women say, Well, he's just hot. Okay. This next clip really disturbed me, gents. It really disturbed me because if this is the mentality of mothers today, this woman, I ain't gonna say she's quite my age, but she's in my realm. I'd say she's a late millennial, maybe just hit the mark on Gen Z or Gen X, maybe very late Gen X like myself, right? Well, I'm a couple years off from the end of Gen X, but I'm at the end of it, okay? So what she says, if this is the mentality of mothers today, then men are in trouble. Listen up. Let's go.
Let me ask you a question. You
Go
said
ahead.
you're a mom, right?
Yes,
Do you have
I
a son?
am. 3 boys.
3 boys. Awesome.
3 boys.
3
Let's say
boys.
those sons grow
I
up to
missed that.
become, of bachelor age. They're 30, got their
Mhm.
money together, etc. And they're dating a girl that has some of these hoe tendencies, right? She hangs out with hoes. She thinks hoe behavior is okay, etc. Would you be okay with him marrying that girl?
Of course.
You would be.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. What was that video? Stop the cap. Stop the cap. This woman, before I let this play on, because she's gonna give her reason why, and it's completely asinine. I'm gonna back that video up just a little bit so we can hear that again. But this woman, this dude, Myron from Fresh and Fit, shout out to the Fresh and Fit, was telling this woman, hey, if you got your sons, would you advise them to marry a woman with these 304 tendencies? Would you say it's okay, son? You know what? It's okay if you marry her. Because I'm going to tell you, man, after my 2 marriages, my mom and my peoples had to talk with me. They said, come here. Okay, we know you're a grown-ass man, but we need to holler at you. Okay? And they gave me some advice. So if you're a young man today or you're a man that's thinking about marriage, this is what they told me. This was the advice they gave me over 8 years ago. No broke bitches. That's what they said. No more broke bitches. Yep, you cannot. No. And it's not just about the money they have, but this mindset. This poor look. My people got it wrong. They had a poor mindset. Broke means you can get some money. These women have a poor mindset, whether that be financially or the way they think in general. These young ladies today. And you have mothers that are okay with their sons going out and messing with these modern women. I've showed you guys, I have hundreds of videos. I'm sure I'm going to hit 400 videos here in the next month or so, right? By the end of April, I'm sure I'll be over 400 videos easy, okay? So what kind of mother thinks this is okay? Well, let's hear from her and see what else she got to say about it.
Etc. And they're dating a girl that has some of these hoe tendencies, right? She hangs out with hoes. She thinks hoe behavior is okay, etc. Would you be okay with him marrying that girl?
Of course.
Stop
You
the
would be.
cap.
You wouldn't step
yeah.
in, intervene, or anything.
No.
You wouldn't warn him.
No.
She's ratchet though.
I think it's different standards of hoes. You have some hoes that just hoe for money. It's $40 hoes, and you have some that's out here, and you have some that's
She
out
looked to the
here
side.
who are really about their money, their standards.
So you think the way they hoe matters?
Men like freaky shit.
Mm.
So if you marry a hoe and you know what it is going into it, you're more acceptable to be, when everybody else is leaving the club and picking up hoes, you're more acceptable to go home to your hoe.
Jesus. That's a mom, y'all, of 3 boys. That is a mother of 3 young men. Listen, if the reason, first of all, if you leaving the club to go home to your 304, you already in a bad situation. Because if that woman was actual wife material, then you would be your ass home. If she's your wife or about to be your wife, and she is a woman of value, this is what a woman who is actual wife material is a high value woman. I said it, it is. A wife, a woman who is capable of being a wife and a good mother is a high value woman, because a good wife, a woman who understands her role as being a wife and a mother and puts that above career and herself and whatever, that is a high value woman, because that woman is in high demand. High value women don't matter how much money you make. We don't give a damn. I don't care what you do, because your money is your money and my money becomes your money. So we don't care. That is not a woman of high value to men. If you aren't an asset to a man, you are a liability. And this mother says that if he leaves the club, he's going to want to go home to his woman because she's freaky in bed. I want y'all to marinate on that. Because one of the things that married people can tell you, my married folk in here or that's listening, is that after a while, and I'm not saying you have to have a relationless marriage. If anything, over time, there needs to be more focus on the intimacy as time progresses, because letting that intimacy die is why we see, another reason why we see marriages completely fall apart. But a woman being, can I say this word? Freaky. Yeah, a woman being freaky does not mean that she is a high value woman. Now, remember what I told you the definition of high value woman is. It does not mean that. One of my cousin married a quote unquote freaky woman. What he did not marry was a high value woman. He didn't. And they ended up divorced anyway. Bedroom stuff is part of it, but it's not the be all to be all. It is not. And this is the narrative that this woman is willing to push on her sons. Let me catch that end part real quick, because there's something else she said. I want to make sure I capture that.
The way they hoe matters.
Men like freaky shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you marry a hoe and you know what it is going into it, you're more acceptable to be, when everybody else is leaving the club and picking up hoes, you're more acceptable to go home to your hoe.
This is the advice that she's giving. Are you serious? That's who you want your son to marry? Because that woman is freaky to your son? And what are you going to tell your sons, because she has 3, what are you going to tell your sons when that freaky woman wants to get freaky with somebody else and he is crushed and devastated that he went and took the time to marry this woman, and now she's ready to leave? She doesn't see the value in the relationship or the marriage anymore. What are you going to tell him? Oh, don't worry. There's more 304s in the sea. Is that what you're going to tell him? Because that is terrible advice. Let me first get to the super chat, you guys. T-Mac with the $10 super chat. Thank you to my brother T-Mac for supporting the channel. I thank you so much, brother. You've supported the channel so much, man, and I appreciate you. I know you and Lucis be working hard, man, but I appreciate you guys when y'all come through. Thank you. Modern women think that men are accessories, TSG. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Still Saint, thank you for being here, brother. Just prediction. She is only okay with it because she is one. And there's probably some truth in that still. Rondo Smallfoot says, salute TSG. She raggedy. Yeah, man. Thank you, Rondo, for being here, man. I appreciate you being here tonight, man. Yeah, she is, man. Who teaches what mother thinks this way? The only type of mother that would think that a 304 for his son, her son, is a good thing, is a 304. Oh, they had a winner with that one. I watched this 304 mama in real time. The fact this mother would support her sons relating with 304s and even marrying them is asinine. This is why fathers is important. Getting there, Lucis. Told you I got a narrative I'm building up. Gents, save your kids. Facts. For your information, 304 mamas think all men freaky. The data states that men are simply, they like relations. So let's understand that 304s think men prioritize 304s over traditional women. They do. And that's the mindset. They think that all men want 304s. They think all men want freaky women. Right? I disagree. If you mean wife in the sense of traditional woman, those days are dead, especially in Western society. As modern day men, we need to focus on is finding it good enough. All right. You and I disagree on this one, Ennis. I'm not talking about, I mentioned nothing about traditional in my statement about a high value woman. I said a woman who has, I didn't say traditional. I just said a woman who understands her role of being a wife and being a mother and puts that above her own needs and wants because she is about and invested in her family and in her husband. Now you can say, well, Sean, those are traditional values, right? I am saying that we need to stop calling that traditional values and realize that that is what is needed to make these relationships last longer. The reason why these relationships aren't lasting as long is because the definition of what it means to be a wife needs to be reinstated into the lexicon. I'm not going to say traditional because that word now has a negative connotation. We need to redefine what a high value woman is, which is why I chose to go the route that I did to state it that way. Throw traditional out your mind, okay? Yes, it may be, quote unquote, some of the qualities that happened before, but we need to redefine and men need to define this. Because if we all stood firm and stayed pat and said, yep, Sean is absolutely correct, not to say it's just me being correct, but the definition of a high value woman to us men is a woman who's going to do those things, who's going to understand her role, who's going to be an asset, not a liability. And the biggest thing that this woman should always bring to her man and her family and her kids and her community is peace. If those things are not in place, this woman is not a high value woman. If she is not an asset to that man, she is not a high value woman. If that man isn't proud to have that woman on his arm, she is not a high value woman. If she is only on your arm so that guys could grab their junk and think about how they would call her a jump off, that is not a high value woman. They should look at your woman and be like, how did he get so lucky to find such a rose amongst the weeds? That, to us men, and a woman who brings peace should be considered a high value woman. That's what I meant by that. Quality woman I can fool with for real. Yeah, that's all we're talking about. And the last part to what he said, we need to focus on finding good enough. No. Don't say find good enough. What do you desire? I'm not saying, look, we all, men and women, both have to have realistic expectations. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and say that, well, women have to have realistic expectations. Well, men do too, man. You can't be some disgustingly out of shape dude who got a messy house, who don't know how to take care of his bills, who barely goes to work, who don't take care of his responsibilities and think that you deserve a high-value woman. Think that you deserve Gina, because you don't. No, you don't deserve no Gina. A woman just got to give you some Gina. You don't deserve it. Just like the woman in the very first clip don't deserve to sit in that man's car and think that he need to trick off his money to her. She don't deserve it. You don't just sit there and think you deserve it. And that's men and women. So good enough has to be out of your mind. It has to be, this is where I'm at. This is my intrinsic value. This is what I bring to the table. And you find someone who that's appealing to. Now, I know it's harder these days, but that's why I said that as men, instead of saying traditional women, we need to be thinking about high value women. And we all need to have that same definition in our head if that's what we're looking for. I hope that makes sense, Ennis. Terrible advice, TSG. Terrible advice about what? I'm missing something. Did I say something? I was like, I think I was on point with that one. I mean, good enough, quality woman you can fool with for real. I mean, listen, man. Ennis, if I'm gonna be real with you, man. For some people, men and women, to get some semblance of what they're looking for, they may feel that good enough might have to be the option. But I think that men who say good enough is putting themselves in a situation that they're going to lose that woman anyway at some point. Okay? I'm trying to be careful with my words on this because I have said good enough before, and I didn't stick to what I was looking for. Okay, the important things. Some of the superficial things you can kind of let go. But is this woman an asset or a liability to me? And I said good enough, but there was a lot of liability in that person, in that woman. And I paid for it at the end. So that's why I said, I'm not saying be unrealistic with your selections. I'm just saying be careful of saying good enough. Okay? Just be careful about that. That's all I'm saying to you. And it is hard. I agree with you. Makes no sense searching through a dumpster filled with garbage to find a steak. Most likely that steak is tainted by the surrounding filth. I mean, look, man. Again, I just explained what I explained. So you can take that as you will, but you have to have some. Remember what my people told me? They said, no broke bitches. Okay, that's what they told me. And I will tell you, since hearing that, women like my exes, my major exes, those women aren't attracted to me anymore. Nor am I attracted to them. Nor do I see them, and nor do those type of women come up to me. Because whatever it is that I needed to change within myself after hearing that speech, and of course the car accident, I'm sure kind of reset some things in my head. But after I realized I was on my purpose and I knew where I wanted to go with my life has no room for women like my exes, because they would never understand my purpose. They would be more a liability to my purpose than an asset. And so because I carry myself differently, those type of women no longer are attracted to me, and or they know that they have no chance with me. So they don't come and talk to me. And it hasn't happened since. It's been coming up on at least 8+ years that no woman like my exes have come tried to holler at me. Hasn't happened. And that's a good thing. It lets me know that I've grown. Have I been perfect? No. But have I grown somewhat? Absolutely. I'm always growing, and I always look to grow. Okay? Think about it for a minute. I am. Hey, what's up, Jay's Randomness Channel? What's going on? What up, Sean C? What up? Not much. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Grab their junk. Yeah. It says, I feel you, bro. Lucy says, no. T-Mac, man, terrible advice from the 304 mom. Oh, yeah, it is terrible advice. Yeah. Yep, terrible advice. This mother is in charge of these young men. I can only imagine how she's letting her young men, her boys, run around with this type of mentality. You guys know the kind of stuff that they're hearing from this single mother. I'm assuming she's a single mother because she's on that channel. Because any self-respecting wife wouldn't say what she said and be married. It's not going to happen. So you can't convince me she got any serious man or any husband that she respects. Think about these type of mothers, what they're saying to their daughters. Think about what these mothers are saying to their sons. Think about how these women act around their sons. A lot of you guys can kind of, if you had single mothers, you can relate to what must be going on and what kind of stuff that she must be saying. Look, my mother never talked to me that way. My mother was always like, look, when my mom said no broke bitches, it's not like she didn't give me that advice earlier. I just had to learn the hard way because I was hard-headed. Okay? But you can't tell me I grew up in the hood. I seen my friends' moms, man. I seen how they operated. I seen hood moms. And I seen women with mentality just like this one growing up. Let me know if you guys have seen any of it too. I'm about to queue up this next video. Now, I got a couple nuggets for you for the last 2 videos. But this video here, this woman's going to quickly go through. She's going to talk about, she's actually talking to the ladies in this, okay? And what she's saying to the ladies is you have a lot of women saying, I can't get no man. They ain't no good men out here. They trash. You guys have seen my recent YouTube short where the young lady was talking about, well, all you got to do is take a woman out to dinner and this, that, and the third. And it's easy for guys to get women, but women can't find good men, right? Because their standards are way too high. But we're going to go through this clip. It's a few minutes. I'm going to touch on a few of these points, and some of them I'm going to let go by. But I want to run through this because I don't want to be on here. We're always almost coming to the first hour, and I'm already behind a little bit. So I want you guys to hear this.
Reasons why you may be struggling with men that have absolutely nothing to do with men and everything to do with you.
All right, there we go. So this woman is about to hold these women accountable. Let me know what you think about what she says about these here in the chat and in the comments.
Reason number 1, you are not what's considered conventionally attractive.
Okay.
Not your fault, but we can't sit here and act like it doesn't play a role.
Conventionally attractive. All right. Do y'all remember the YouTube short? If you haven't watched it yet, go take a look at it. But the woman walked out, and we're going to talk about this here when I go through these comments that you guys, because I'm also going to read some of your comments from this week, from the week's videos. But conventionally attractive. You got women with these long ass lashes, these damn Wolverine fingernails, right? You have caked on makeup. Pardon you guys. I'm so sorry about that. Let me take a sip of my my grape drink. I got that grape drink, baby. All right. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. But it's funny. You see these women who's going get Botox shoved into their lips, and they getting the BBLs, and they doing all this stuff. And the funny thing is they're not even doing it to attract men as much as they're doing it to get attention, which is sad. So when that woman walked out of that panel and she was like, Abiana, and them dudes all popped that balloon, it's because, yeah, she might be a jump off, but this ain't somebody I'm trying to date. Seriously, you are not conventionally attractive. And we're going to talk about that here when I get to the comments, okay? Let me see what you guys say. Real quick before we... Lucis, I grew up in the 9th Ward, NOLA, Southwest Houston. Yeah, we talked about that. Seeing single mothers ruin their daughters by teaching them to be transactional with men and simp out their sons to pedestalize women, no matter their actions. That is facts, man. That is facts. And Lucis, you know from seeing and being in NOLA and growing up in NOLA, man, you know how it is down there. right? That's why dudes were so quick down there to go get a junk ass car, because I know I did. You get a junk ass car, and what the first thing dudes used to do? They used to throw rims on it and sound. And that was good enough to attract these low vibration, low quality women. Good enough. Carl says makeup is just a huge lie. It is. And listen, ladies, I'm not against makeup. Because I had a woman say, oh, well, I had a woman, I could say, she said, I saw your video. And she was like, you know, I put on a little makeup, blah, blah, blah. I said, baby, you don't have to justify to me you wearing makeup. Okay. I said, first of all, I'm never telling women not to wear makeup. But if you can't unlock your phone because you've put on that much makeup, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. But men like subtle. If you can get away with subtle makeup, that's a good thing, right? You'll get more respect out of a man from that than to cake it on and you take it off later and he realizes you don't look like the same person. You can't unlock your phone. You don't look like your profile no more. He don't know if he crept into another house because he was drunk. I don't know. All those things. Okay, let's get back to this.
You're negative.
Yep.
Everything out your mouth is either you complaining or bitching about something. Ma'am, please give it a rest.
Go back to what I told you guys earlier. Us men and ladies listening, men want peace.
You are exhausting to be around.
That's the other part too, right? Ennis, if you get with good enough, sometimes you get that woman that becomes exhausting to be around. Okay. I dated a beautiful woman from Costa Rica, or she's Costa Rican. She was gorgeous, but she was always trying to create drama. And I don't care how beautiful or how fine she is, she was Americanized at this point, and she was nothing but drama. And so when I told her I said, hey, we're done. And she was like, what? You're just going to break up with me like that? I know you didn't care. Like, oh, no, I don't care. I said, I didn't have these problems before you, and I'll be damned if I'm going to continue to have these problems. And then she had the nerve to say to me, she said, well, just so you know, everybody, all my exes or people that have been with me, they always call me back. They always try to come back. And I said, just so you know, I never go backwards. Have a good one. And I've been true to that. I haven't thought about her. I don't go back to her, you know? And you got to be that way. You break up with somebody, you break up for a reason. Well, Sean, can people change? People can change, but people also get comfortable. People also revert back to who they are or who they were in places that they're most comfortable. Think about it when you go back home. If you're living in another state and you go back to go visit home, give you about a few days. If you're there for a week or so, you start talking the way you used to. You kind of move the way you used to. Yeah, you're different, but there's a familiarity that you have with being home. So you move a different way. When I go back to New Orleans, give me about 2-3 days out there, hang on my peoples, hang on my boys, and then I'm starting to talk with a little accent again. At least you can hear it when I come back here, right? When I'm there, they're like, where you from, New York? I'm like, oh, man, here we go with this. All right. All right. Let me catch this real quick. Above, Beyond, and Forever, thank you for being here. Salute TSG in chat. Thank you very much. He says, save yourself, black man. Hashtag. Thank you. All right. Do chicks that watch your content run into you or pull up on you every now and then? That's funny. I'm starting to get, the channel has grown to the point where people are starting to recognize me. It doesn't happen all the time, but people are like, I've seen you before. I said, well, I have a YouTube channel called TSG UNCUT. And they're like, that's where I saw you from. I was in Colombia and a group of dudes from Houston was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, that's my brother. My big bro was like, yo, that's my brother right there. And the dudes was like, yeah, he looked familiar. And my brother was like, yo, he got a YouTube channel. I said, yeah, it's TSG UNCUT. He was like, that's why. He's like, I think I seen you on that, fam. Yeah, bro. So, and that was October. So that was almost 5 months ago. So now, like, I go to the club sometime and I'll get a couple people like, I think I seen you in a video, bro. Like, starting to happen, but it's not quite there yet. Ren Rodriguez, I can handle a toothache, but to find out my wife is cheating on me has emotionally devastated me for 4 years. She was never satisfied. I earned a little bit over 60K a year. This man, Ren, you make over what the average man makes. You make over the average of all men what they make, making 60K a year. And don't ever be ashamed of that, right? If you want to make more, make more. If you want to do certain things in your life, you might have to make some more money. You might have to go earn some more. But if 60K does what you need it to do, then be fine with that. Be fine with that. And we're going to talk about that at the very last clip today, why that's so important. Something I'm going to drop on you guys that I want you guys to think about. But I want to get back to that. And it's unfortunately that your wife cheated on you. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully you've gotten through that. A 10 that loves drama and hates peace is a 2. Right, exactly. Facts. All right, let's get back to this video. She got a lot more to say.
Your shape. Now, there's nothing you can do about your God-given shape, but for some of y'all, your shape wasn't God-given.
Before she gets into that, how many women be like, I'm a 10, and they shape like a Oompa Loompa? How many? This is not the diss women's shape, because again, I agree with her. You can do a little bit about your shape. You know, you can go to the gym, you can start walking, you can work on your health. Are you going to be perfect? No. Listen, I get up there and wait sometimes when I get to the gym. I've been back to the gym. Can't really tell in my clothes right now, but I'm starting to put on some muscle again. But guess who I would never look like? I will never look like The Rock. I would never do it. Not without steroids, and I'm not doing that. So here's the thing. I do what I need to do for me so that I'm healthy and I feel good. And I have to understand that my shape, the way I look, isn't for everyone. But I'm doing my best. And so I appreciate the person that the person or the woman that the woman that appreciates me. Keep that in your heads, gents. If a woman appreciates you, then appreciate her. Appreciate her. Because that is rare. It's starting to get more rare. So, ladies, nobody's expecting you all to look like supermodels. But if you're not doing anything to work on your health and your fitness, and then, you know, you shape like a Oompa Loompa, and now all of a sudden you want to tell a dude that you're the catch, you're the prize, that's unrealistic. It's delusional. And this, everybody's a 10, everybody's a queen, everybody's slaying it mentality is what's keeping a lot of you women single. Let's get back to this.
You did that, and you can undo it. Your mouth. You're always ready to pop off, always looking for an argument, always looking for a fight,
That
day
peace.
in and day out. Nobody wants to deal with that.
Right. We talked about that. Men value peace. Let's keep going.
You don't know how to effectively communicate. Every conversation becomes an argument because you get defensive, and then you want to launch an unnecessary counterattack instead of actually listening to what the problem is. You're lazy. You have no goals, no aspirations, nothing. Men are builders. If you have no vision, and if you're not working on anything, then there's nothing for that man to contribute to or to support you with.
Now, that part right there is like, I agree and I disagree. Go back to that conversation that I had with my people. Go back to that conversation I had with my people about no broke biatches, okay? The reason what they were saying, they weren't saying go out and find one of these high-value career women. They weren't just saying that. They were just saying you need to get with a woman who is on your program who can contribute to that program and not take away from it. Because back in the day, and I say back in the day, I don't want to say that. Most men, if they find a woman that they think is of value, they will work hard to try to keep that woman taken care of and his family taken care of as best as they can. And some men will go out and work 2-3 jobs to make sure that their family is fine. Men will work jobs that they hate for until they expire to make sure their family is fine. But nowadays, if you let modern women be stay-at-home wives, they are complete leeches. And you will sit there finding yourself, you should have enough money. If you just talking about taking care of your needs, let's talk about rent for a second. You're making $60K a year. Yeah, like that is not bad money. And if it's you and your spouse and you guys are living at your means, you're not trying to live high on the hog, and you're taking care of your needs first, and you're not acquiring a bunch of debt for things you don't need, $60K is going to be tight at sometimes for certain things, but on $60K, you guys could do fairly well. Yes, you can. Even with the inflation on $60K, you can do a lot with a family. All right? And that's just the man working. All right? So, but what you have is a lot of these women want to live this higher lifestyle. So unfortunately, $60K isn't enough if you're talking about marrying a bottom feeder, housewife, leech. It's not enough because she's just gonna spend. They can't stop spending, man, on shit that don't matter. So what she said was a woman that can contribute. Again, when women work, a lot of the time, they want their money to be theirs and your money to be theirs. So if you're going to find this, I will agree that you need to find a woman that has her own, but she also is willing and ready to be on your plan. And that's why it's important for men to be on their purpose, because you have to give, as a leader, and I know this for a fact, as a leader of people, you have to present them with the vision and a clear plan to get there. And as men, it is incumbent upon us to show that type of leadership and vision to the women that we're with. And unfortunately, it's going to be intimidating to some women because they're so used to these Pookies and Ray Rays that when they see a man, they got their stuff together, what do they say? They call you like they did Michael B. Jordan. They say you're boring. Oh, there's a guy who knows where his birth certificate is at. There's a guy who keeps all his papers organized. There's a guy who has a clean apartment. Corny, that's what they call you. That's what they say about you. Leave those women alone. All right? Let's get back to this. I'll get to your comments here in a little bit. Let me run through this.
You talk too much and you talk about absolutely nothing. Your conversation is lacking substance. All you talk about are celebrities or the latest TikTok videos or something that you saw on television or music or hair or makeup. It's lacking substance.
At this point in my life, gents, in order for me to be attracted to women, you have got to give me substantive conversation. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I'll be honest with you guys, I thought something was wrong with me, but then I realized, like, you're just a man now, man. You're a grown-ass man who got things he's doing, and you don't want to talk to no airheads. You don't have time for it. If it doesn't stimulate you mentally to talk to a woman, then she either needs to shut the hell up or you need to leave that woman alone. Bottom line. But talking to these airheads is only going to lead you to pain and ruin. Okay? Never trust the big button or smile, man.
You're a know-it-all. Before he even gets a chance to say anything, you're already telling him what he was thinking or what he was going to say.
That's crazy,
and that's
Carl.
certainly a way to make somebody feel comfortable in your presence. You're insecure and you lack confidence. Mm-hmm. It shows in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, everything.
Lacking confidence and self-respect, man. I fully believe part of these women's issues, the modern women's issues, is that lack of confidence. And they're trying to compensate with these likes, with the way they look, with who they talk to, who they associate with. They're dealing with issues from their past that they haven't gotten through or gotten over, man. And then you have to deal with that. Again, go back to what I said that most men are looking for. Peace. Listen to how many things she says in this video, the video clip, that disturbs a man's peace. Just listen again. Listen.
It screams chaos, and most men are going to steer clear unless they want to use you. Your behaviors, mannerisms,
said
and
all that.
conversation is quite mannish, a little bit too mannish. For many men, that's completely unattractive.
Hell yeah, it's unattractive, man. Look, if I wanted to talk to dudes, I'll go tear one back at the local bar and holler at the dudes there, and we can laugh and joke, bro laugh and stuff like that. If you're talking to a woman, you want her to be ladylike. You want her to be a woman. You want to have that conversation rooted with her giving femininity so you can operate in your masculinity around her, man. It is nothing more unattractive to having these girls like, yeah, you know, I done it myself. I'm independent. I don't need nobody. Trying to like outdo you. She up here banging on her chest like she goddamn King Kong, looking like King Kong without that makeup. But yet she's a 10. Yet she's a queen. Yet you should put her up on a pedestal. Yet she's slaying it. Stop me if you've heard that before.
You're emotionally unavailable. I know you don't think you are, but you come off as cold, uncaring, and heartless. There is nothing inviting about that energy to a man.
That's another one, man. Cold and uninviting. A lot of these women, along with the mannish, the masculinity that they put off, when you talk to them, you can tell that they are emotionally stunted people because they don't have the warmth and the depth that a woman of substance and value gives, who has femininity, natural femininity, not this fake soft girl era crap. A real woman is inviting. Her femininity is an inviting presence to your masculinity. And if it's not,
You lack class and tact. This could potentially make you a liability, and many men will not take you serious. You lack basic respect. Respect is a foundational need for men. Men do not stay where respect is not given.
no self-respecting man stays where respect isn't given. And listen, and that's not to diss any of you men out there that might be in these situations that you didn't get it, because men will stay around, especially if they're with their woman, that they've committed to that woman. They'll stay around through that lack of disrespect to try to make it work. It's women nowadays who are heading for the door. The statistics bear it out, right? But the first thing he'll do is gaslight you and say, well, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. But you don't hear modern women talk about is where they are failing in these relationships. Yes, they will suggest going to counseling, but I'm going to tell you, and if you guys have ever been to counseling, you know it becomes well, he ain't doing this for me and he ain't doing that. And the counselors just shut the hell up because they want to get more money out you. You can make some valid points and they'll tell you to, well, maybe you need to think this way. I had a pastor of my church who was supposed to be a man of God, right? Back in the day when I was religious, right? When I was religious, this pastor kowtowed to my wife when he should have been like, that's your husband. You need to listen to your husband. He didn't do that. He was telling me to concede when everything I was saying was correct. Financially, we were not in a place that we should have bought a brand new car. We just weren't. Could I afford it? Yes. But all that did was take out money that we needed at the house. Whereas I had a buddy at work who could work on cars. At that time, I didn't have that type of engineering aptitude, but he was not only just an engineer, but he was also a car mechanic. And he said, look, I'll sell you this car for $400. It's a manual transmission. It'll get you back and forth from this house from your house to work every day. He said, is that reliable? He said, now taking some long ass trip in it, wouldn't do that. But he said, if you just got to get back and forth to work, it'll pay for itself. And she got mad. It's a manual. I'm not going to be able to drive it. I said, listen, it's so that you don't have to get up every morning and take me to work so that I can leave you with the car to take care of the stuff you got to take care of. Well, she went to our pastor at the church, and that dude was like, well, maybe, y'all can look into it and just check it out. This is why I stopped going to church. Anyway, let me know if you guys got any similar stories to that one, okay? Let me finish this up, and we'll get back to your comments.
You're self-absorbed and inconsiderate, only seeing the world through the lens of self. No man wants to be with a woman who doesn't take him into consideration.
I talked about
At the end of the day, if you work on building your confidence, being secure in yourself and who you are, and having respect for yourself, it would eliminate a large majority of the issues that you run into with men. As always, everything starts with you.
Okay. So listen. Hold on, real quick. I'm just setting up the next clip real quick so I can have it already on deck. So we're going to run through this real quick. Be careful of that. And I would warn her, she's telling these women to have more confidence, and having confidence in these women today is important. I believe women should have real confidence. But what modern women mistake for confidence is an illusion. See, a lot of modern women who say I'm a 10, I'm a queen, I'm slaying it, all these different things, they will tell you I'm full of confidence. Look at me, I'm a baddie, blah, blah, blah. But that's not real confidence. That's an inflated confidence. You have women who may not be like these 304s out here in the street, who build themselves up through their careers, who build themselves up for the life that they want. And they say, well, I'm a confident woman. That's how I got up here. And there is some truth to that. But your confidence on the job doesn't translate your confidence on how you treat people, how you reflect your values and your personality on the people. It's different. So women have to be careful when it talks about this confidence thing, okay? And I would also say to you gentlemen out there that I know that we will try to be with a woman that we can build up her confidence. But if her lack of confidence is rooted in deep-seated trauma, then you have to be very patient, or you have to realize that those trauma issues are going to prevent you from being able to do that. If she isn't willing to really look at the root of what has her being the way that she is. And a lot of women don't want to look back in that past. They're willing to blame things that happened in the past, but they're not willing to confront it. And some of us gentlemen have to do that too. Let's get to these comments. Where are we at? Damn, there's a lot of comments. Carl says, starting to get that international fame. Not quite yet, Carl. I'm trying to get there, brother. Sean, you gotta stop. You can be 5'3", 221 pounds with 4 mistake babies and still be a 10. That's a good one. 4 mistake babies. That's a good one. Lucis, I disagree. You can do a lot about your shape. Hit the gym, watch your diet, nutrition, but being an Oompa Loompa is not acceptable. If all women are 10, then no woman is a 10. That's a good point. Yes, a lot can be done. You're right. Carl clapped that. Yeah, that's a good one. Lucis is always going to come with them elbows, man. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm trying to put on muscle too, bro. You're stronger. Dudes will be scared of you. And from what I heard, if you put on enough of mass, you really ain't even got to worry about bullets too much, bro. Well, look. I'm sporting that Superman tat, man. I ain't bulletproof. All right. Listen, one thing I learned about growing up in New Orleans, man, is don't put yourself in situations where you're in danger or you can be taken out. And you can say, well, Sean, how can you know those places? You know those places. Don't be silly. You know those places, okay? At this point in life and at this age, I kind of hang out at more loungy places with grown folk that like to dress up, okay? I dress up. I like to have sport coats on. I like to wear, boots, Chelsea boots. Man, look, when I step out the car, and I like to look good. Okay, that's just the way I roll. Again, when I start this Patreon, you guys will see all of that. Okay. Carl says, Sean, I clear 130 after taxes. I've been told I don't make enough for a family to thrive on. That's cap then. That's cap. That's cap. Listen, if you have you and your wife and you make $90K a year together, combined income, So let's take Ren's example of $60K a year. Your woman is working $15 an hour, which is about 30,000 a year. So you're making 90 a year. She's only working, she'll make 30K, not even making full time, for a full 40 hours. You can make almost 30K making a little bit less than that. Somewhere around that mathematically. Here's my point. That is more than enough for you and her to live. At 130K a year, so what, that's 40K more. For every child you have, it's going to cost the additional $12,000 a year. So if you have 3 kids with this woman, now that's another $36,000 that you need in income to be able to take care of your family effectively. Now hear me out on this. 90 for you and her, 36 for the 3 kids. That puts you at 126K. You said you make 130. Let me make sure. And you said 130 after taxes. That's cap, Carl. And don't let any woman ever tell you that again. She is telling the truth. A lot of modern women are boring. No substance, just ignorant. Yeah, man, I'm not even attracted to it, Lucis. Carl says, Lucis, facts. Carl says, modern women are emotionally warm as Batman. And just as aggressive. That's a good one. Wilbert McBride, thank you for being here. Guys, you notice that most fair-skinned Black women are the ones trying to halfway respect Black men? Huh. You know, I didn't know how to respond to that, Wilbert, but now that I think about it, I'm not saying this is it, but I'm going to have to, like, now there's something going to be in my head going forward. Look at all the videos with the women who are fighting and advocating for men. Think about my channel. Think about all the videos you've seen. A couple have been dark-skinned, but most of these are fairer-skinned women. I don't understand that. That's a good one. I never looked at. I'm not trying to say that's all. I'm just saying, damn, I put a lot of fair-skinned women on this channel that is speaking towards men's issues. Never really looked at it. Carl, you ain't told a lie. The hyper-masculine women be emotionally unavailable and be brutish to the men that care about them and leads those men to become callous. Men require respect. Facts. Wilbur says, or at least some fair-skinned Black women are trying to halfway respect a Black man. Yeah, I just addressed that, man. I'm really going to be thinking about that as I'm pulling videos for this channel. You skipping my comment before, Wilbur. Oh, did I? Where was it? I called it out. Lucis right here. She's telling the truth. A lot of modern women are boring, no substance, just ignorant. I caught that one. Unless I'm missing one. And I talked about the one where I read that one too with the Oompa Loompa comment. Unless there's another one, but I didn't block any of your comments there, Lucis. And then Carl says, no, it's not about completion. It's about culture, or so I thought. Yeah. All right. Let's get to this next one, man, because we're already hitting an hour and 30. All right. I have a couple more clips. We're going to run through all this stuff. Let's do it. This is Kevin Samuels. Now, this one here, you guys may have seen this, but this right here, this mentality, and this is the one Kevin Samuels said, clip it. There it goes, right there. This is the game right here, gentlemen. This is the game in the heads of these women. Check it out.
You're 24 years old. Is your circumstance harder or easier than your grandmother and your great-grandmother?
Exponentially easier. We have access to information we didn't have.
Exponentially easier, but you're handling it worse.
Okay.
Your grandmother and your great-grandmother actually could work with a Black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the Black woman and the Black man are on the same side. Now that we're all free and independent and we could do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the Black man? We even think that being...
Thank you.
Got it. Got her. Did y'all hear what that young lady said? Did y'all hear that? Matter of fact, that was so good. I'm going to run that one back. I'm gonna run that one back. She gave the game away.
That's
You're
why
24 years old. Is your circumstance harder or easier than your grandmother and your great grandmother?
exponentially easier.
So these women have it easier out here. This woman admits it. A lot of women say, you know what? Things are a lot easier for women. They're not perfect. We still got a long way to go. We got to beat the patriarchy. Right? Like they still talk that crap, but their life is exponentially easier. Yet men get less value today from a woman who has it easier than ever before and gets way less value than men got before in terms of a high value woman. All right, let's continue.
We have
Right.
access to
Great.
information we didn't have.
Exponentially easier, but you're handling it worse. Your grandmother, your great grandmother actually could work with a black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the black woman and the black man are on the same side. Now that we're all free and independent and we could do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the black man? We even think that being
Thank you.
that's why
There you go. There you go. Out of the mouth of babes, that 24-year-old woman spilt the beans right there. There are a number of women out here who have made it abundantly clear because they're single and independent and don't need a man, can do it on their own. They don't need anybody until they do. That why would they seek to work with us? Why would they seek it? Why would they try to do it? They got this. They got this. And if a woman has that mentality, I say let her. Hey, power to you. Ain't no hate or shade on this side. If that's the way you want to live your life, if that's the path that you want to choose for you and your future family, because make no mistake, what you sow, that you shall also reap. And if you sow into your soul these type of ideologies and principles of not working with your own men, where it's you sow into the seeds of self, but not things that are going to make your spirit spring forth with goodness and righteousness. But if you want to sow into your seeds of yourself, selfishness, materialism, all these different things, negativity, uncooperation, if that's a word, no cooperation, then you're going to get what you get. Same for us. That's why it's important for us as men to work on ourselves and till the soil. We need to grow and develop into the men that we need to be. We need to be on our purpose for this very reason, because it is what defines us as men. What we are able to accomplish from the work of our hands is what makes a man. But we have to build our value. We don't get to be pretty and just have value placed upon us. We have to earn it. But this woman right here threw the game out. She threw the game out. Real quick, let me see where we're at. Preston, thank you for being here. He said, what's up, Sean? How you living? You know how I'm doing over here at TSG UNCUT, keeping it real. Keeping it real. Lucis says, oh my God, this was the most important clip from Kevin Samuels. Absolutely. I thought the same thing too, Lucis. This young lady stated the angst of black women against black men. She absolutely did. Ren says, my wife is a flight attendant now. I supported her when she had very little. She left me for someone else. Yeah, because she is, man, look, Ren, we need to talk, bro. Hit me up on my Instagram, bro, at some point, man. Hit me up on my Instagram. Let me throw my Instagram up for you guys who don't have it. A lot of people like XL Pro hit me up, and some of you other guys always hit me up on there on my Instagram, man. And I'll talk to you offline about this stuff. But yeah, hit me up on my Instagram for sure. All right. Also, consider donating to the channel, right? We appreciate all the super chats that you guys give. All the stuff goes back into reinvesting into this channel, to the different programs, to the equipment. You guys bought this mic. You guys bought this camera, right? I use it and I reinvest it back in this channel or donate to Cash App. I appreciate you. A lot of people do it that way too. And again, I'm grateful for every bit of that, man, because again, you guys make the show. All right. And I don't monetize these live streams, so I can speak a little bit more freely than I would on my videos. Okay. And Ren, I'm sorry about that. But guess what, man? This is what we talked about, working on your purpose, man, getting past it, build yourself up to be better, man. Listen, you won't make that same mistake again. All right. You won't make that same mistake again if you've done the work like you're supposed to. Organic Loving, thank you, beautiful, for being here. She said, evening, just joining. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Got him. That's right. Organic said, she's only 24. She has no experience in relationships and barely life. She's a poor example. She is a poor example, Organic, but at the same time, you got to understand this is the mindset of the young women today. And listen, there's not a lot of shows out there or podcasts or live streams like yours where you have women who have lived life pouring into these younger women. These younger women don't always want to hear that message until they've made lots of mistakes. Who is speaking to these women who think they still got their whole lives ahead of them, but along the way, they are making bad choices that are sowing in these seeds that are going to eventually sprout up later and cause problems in their future relationships or their future life dealings. See, when women go on to other women's channel and speak like this, not talking about yours, Organic, but when I'm talking about these women that are out here that are like, yeah, girl, you don't need no man. Oh, yeah, all men are trash. Oh, this, that, and the third. Or when women say dumbass shit like this 24-year-old, go read the comments under those types of videos. Tell me, Organic, how many women support those type of women. She's a poor example, Organic, but these are the same women who are influencers here on social media. And their voice, unfortunately, is bigger than yours. Their platforms are bigger than yours and mine. And this is what we're hearing. So yes, she's a poor example, but this example is what we're seeing today. All right. Preston says they obviously said that they don't need us, so die alone, being strong and independent. Carl says, Pedro outside of Home Depot gets a much higher level of respect from his woman. Salute to my Home Depot soldiers. Heck yeah, they do, man. You know what? And those guys go out and kill themselves in that hot sun. After Hurricane Katrina, you know how New Orleans got built up again? It was a lot of illegal people that came there, and they were the ones clearing all the debris, they were clearing all the debris from New Orleans. And my cousin was out there working. He went to the hospital. Now I said, bro, you weren't drinking water? He's like, bro, I carried a gallon of water. He said, I couldn't keep up. Those dudes will slave away out in the heat, and they're the ones that New Orleans is a clean, somewhat rebuilt city again. I have nothing but respect for the Home Depot warriors looking for jobs. All right? Preston says, jealousy don't like ugly, so don't. We all die alone, not unless we all going to go down in the plane together. That is true. I don't, if you notice on this channel, I rarely say, even under my comments, I really rarely tell women, all right, well, just die alone. I rarely say that. You rarely hear me say that on this channel. And you might say, Sean, why don't you say that? It's because, again, she's right. Organic is correct. We all going to die alone at some point, right? And then if you are a man that is married to a woman, chances are that you're going to expire before she will, and she's still going to die alone. The difference is that did she have the love that she was looking for in her life? Did she leave a legacy other than hair weave and Lee press-on nails and batwing eyelashes? Did she leave a legacy other than her 304 legacy that, you know, she can give you her list of men and basically rival most men? If she has a legacy deeper than that with her children, her family, and her grandchildren, and the things that the places that she's gone with her dude, and the things that she's accomplished within her family, for her family, unselfishly, So it is what it is. We're all gonna die alone. But Andrew Tate brought that up on one of the podcasts. He said his grandmother's legacy was looking around and 70 sentient human beings came from his grandmother. It don't matter if she was starting in the club. It don't matter if she was hot girl summering it. Her legacy was those autonomous beings, those sentient beings that all first stemmed from her womb. That's legacy. All right. And it says, I think she wasn't thinking before she said what she said, that although, bro. Well, she should have thought about it. You're going to open your mouth, be cautious of what you're saying. She could have not meant what she said, but she said it. She was talking to a man of experience. 24 years old, he was 53 at the time or something. This dude has almost 30 years more experience. Maybe she should have been doing a little more listening, then a little bit less running off at the mouth before thinking about what she had to say. And it goes into that video I just played where the woman was talking about women saying things and not having substance or value or not thinking. The seed you plant will eventually become the fruit you harvest. Facts. Carl says, Ennis, she wasn't thinking. Did you see the bonnet? Oh, man, that's crazy. Preston says, of course, you got to be real. I told you that life is too short to be fake. Absolutely. T-Max says, sorry, I meant terrible advice from the 304. No, I got you, bro. Lucy says, I got to go. Catch the rest later. Keep viewing and subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you all thank you, Lucy's big contributor. T-Max says, sorry, I got busy at work. Your advice is always fire. It's all good, man. I know you support the channel from a distance. You also gave me the $10 super chat, which I am so grateful for. Thank you very much, man. You know that's why you're my dude, man. You're my dude for life. Okay? Press says, everyone makes mistakes. No one is perfect. The world has lost its way. It has. Loved used to be real and authentic, but it's gone for good. Well, hopefully it comes back. I don't know. Women are the reason why women are failing. They don't hold each other accountable. Again, if you look at the comments, a lot of women are co-signing on some of the reckless stuff that other women are saying. Now, I'm going to tell you this. When men say reckless stuff in my comments, I'm going to call it out. I say, look, man, I disagree. Right? I tell certain dudes certain things like, yo, or there's comments you guys don't see. Like, I don't let dudes most of the time, unless it slip through. But when you start having dudes talking about, yeah, women should be deleted, I don't allow those comments on the channel, man. And if I've let it slip, I let it slip. But I don't let that. Again, I'm gonna tell y'all this for the record. I want this to be on the record again. And I'm very consistent on my thoughts and beliefs, but I'm not mad at women. I'm not bitter. I'm not mad. Do what you do. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, why it doesn't. Okay? Stay tuned. Preston, I made a bunch of mistakes in my life, but none of them have birthdays. Oh, that's crazy. The world is living in la la land. Facts. Nobody wants a free bottle of freeze bottle with legs. That's funny. A lot of young people make bad choices, part of being young. Those of us who are seasoned do pour into younger people who are open into listening. Yes, not saying you're not, but I'm saying there's not enough of those voices. See, you can look at channels like this and other channels, and you can see that this message is spreading to men. Not all men, but it's starting to spread. Women's messages to these young 304s out here who act in that way with that mentality, that poor mentality, y'all message is not getting out there. The masses is beating you guys. Why is that? It's because there's not enough of you saying it. You said to those who listen. We're putting it out there in mass now. You can't throw a stone and people not know what red pill content is. Quote unquote red pill content. I don't want to be known for being red pill content. I just want to be, I'm just somebody that's lived some life that's just throwing some G out there. That's it. Okay? Preston, I hope you're paying your writers well. They're on point today. Of course, we all die alone, but you live for something or die for nothing. Exactly. I highly recommend you and your followers read Audible Black Women, read Black Women, Black Love, America's War on Black Marriage by Professor Diane Stewart. Thanks for the suggestion. You guys got it right there. Check out that book if you're interested. All right. Carl, I'm just being real for real. This comes from the heart. Every generation believes that the generation or two below us is crazy or not worthy. It was the same with our parents and our parents' parents. Organic, okay? Stop the cap, baby, okay? I love having you on here, but you playing this devil advocate thing. This channel is to express what men are seeing and feeling out there. Now, in terms of, yes, I agree with you. Every generation says, I don't understand these kids, right? Me and my friends talk about this all the time too. But you got to understand something. The statistics, you can look at the statistics and you can see that this generation, for whatever reason, economically or whatever, but you got to understand, women are driving this economy right now. Women's buying power and the way women are buying things is driving the economy. There's also some other groups that are driving the economy. I urge you to look at the commercials nowadays and you tell me who those commercials are geared for. A lot of commercials are geared to be inclusive. And I'm not saying it shouldn't have inclusivity in marketing, but you market to the people that's going to buy from you. Correct? And it is women and some of these other groups that are ones driving the economy. And this was done on purpose because you guys spend more of your, not all women, but a lot of women spend most of their disposable income on things that don't matter. It matters to them, but it doesn't matter in the whole overall scheme of what's trying to get you further. So I get where you're trying to be balanced in your approach of coming here, but you got to understand that this channel is a place to voice what men are seeing. And I never leave my viewers or listeners without some positive advice for moving forward. But you got to stop the cap, baby. Part of this balanced speaking is the reason we having issues. I talk about men being accountable. I do. And I expect that the gents want to be accountable too. But you're coming here trying to speak to something that men aren't seeing. I would say that's best left for your audience. And I would say go listen to her channel because I actually love the conversations that she has with other more mature, beautiful Black women. I actually watched for a good couple hours a few times, right? But I'm saying that you've got to see that that is not the experience of men in modern day Western culture. That's why a lot of guys are getting their passports and they're leaving. They're just done. And I know some women feel like, oh, there was no good men out there. Okay. But you still got women out there that's just like, dudes like Michael B. Jordan, who just directed his first movie, is calling this dude corny, saying he the kind of guy that knows where his birth certificate is. I wager to say that if you are a grown-up in America and you don't know where your birth certificate is, other than the fact that maybe it got lost in Hurricane Katrina like mine did, or you haven't made the attempt to get a new birth certificate and go through the process to do that, you might be failing as an adult. You should know where these things are at. You should know where your documentation is at. Let me say, Sean, what about your life insurance policy? I know where my life insurance policy is at. You should know where these things are. And yet, still organic, you have young women that get on Twitter, that get on social media and say, you're corny for knowing where those things are at. It's cap. Right. And none of them are rebuking Cynthia G for her comments about black men. Organic, have you heard Cynthia G? The hate and the vitriol that comes out of her? I don't think I speak hate and vitriol. And I'm the first one to say that I'm not mad at women at all. That's not from Cynthia G. Are you in her comments telling her that? I'm not trying to put this all on you, but I'm saying this is the experience that men are having. Like it or not, you got to respect it. Or maybe listen and just listen. You may not like it, but listen. And gents, again, I would say go over to her, go to Organic's IG. There's some very interesting comments. And I'm going to tell you, Organic is a friend of mine. I respect her highly because one thing I can tell you about what she speaks about is she is trying to bring this to a place of love. And that I do respect highly. Highly. Unfortunately, though, with this type of channel, I have to hide the medicine inside the treat. Not necessarily for my listeners, because Wednesdays are for Wednesday live streams are like subscriber day. You know what I mean? God dang it. I'm going over time, you guys. All right. I got to get back. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, of course, Organic. I love you, baby. You know that. If you're Michael B. Jordan's age and don't know where your birth certificate is, you're probably below average. Facts. Now, Organic, you making the Organic says, I always meet great black men and love black men. I know you do, baby. I know you do. I know you living a full life and is rich because you meet great people and you embrace those people. You are very warm, loving, and giving. I get it. You ain't got to sell me on who you are. That's why we're friends. You know what I mean? That's why I respect you to the highest. Let's get through this, you guys. I've gone way too long. I meant to have this. I guess it's good content. It's good. It's a good topic.
If I said to you,
it's a good topic. Now, here's the thing. This is the last video tonight, and I want to bring this home real quick. Let me get this brand thing off the screen real quick. I want to bring this home. This may be a little off topic from what we've been talking about, but the reason this is not just for the gents, this is not just for Organic, this is for both men and women, that we need to realize what's the most valuable resource asset that we have right now that we need to be using more and taking better advantage of while we have it. Okay, you guys probably already know what it is, but I want you to hear this.
if I said to you, I'll write you $1 million check right now, that will clear the bank. I'll write you $1 million check right now. Would you like it? Would you like that? Well, of course you would. But if I said, there's one caveat, I'm going to write you this $1 million check right now, but you have to end your life as soon as I give it to you. Now, do you want it?
Absolutely not.
Why? Because you already realize it instinctively and intuitively that the time you have left is more valuable than $1 million check.
100%.
Right? So you understand already. But if you don't ever consciously think about it, you go through life thinking time is money, time is money, time is money. Two things you're going to do that are going to really mess up your life. And here they are. You're going to sell a whole bunch of your time for a little bit of somebody else's money. And you're going to waste a whole lot of time trying to save a little bit of money.
So I wanted to bring that video up because the title of this tonight's live stream is Why Men Must Be on Their Purpose From Now On. Right? It starts with us, gentlemen. We have to put ourselves in positions to be men that are enviable of other men. We have to put ourselves in positions to be men that are respected by other men and respected by women, respected by the people around us. We need to work towards that. It is all a process. And Organic talked about it earlier. We all growing. We all made mistakes. Hell, I made mistakes up until my mid-30s. I still make mistakes sometimes, okay? You know? No one's perfect. And I'm not even claiming to be perfect on here. I'm not doing that. All right? What I'm saying is that given the nature of the things that we've seen now, all we can do is work to be the best versions of ourselves. Be a positive influence to those people that come around us as best as we can. Be the light, be the example. And then when we do interact with the opposite sex, right? When we do interact with them, if they cannot, and that goes for both men and women, if they are not of substance, if they have a poor mentality, if they have a piss poor attitude, if they are not an asset but yet a liability, if they cannot give you the love and respect that you want, dare I say deserve, if you've done the work on yourself and you've gotten past your past trauma and all these different things, then you need to make sure they are not in your life. This goes for some of the people that we keep in our orbit too. The company we keep dictates our success in life. Let me say that again. The company that we keep in life dictates our success. If we keep a bunch of poor attitude, broke-minded, poor-minded, low vibrational people in our orbit, you will become who you hang around with the most. If you hang around with a crackhead long enough, you're going to be tempted to do crack. If you hang around with poor people long enough, you're going to stay poor. If you hang around people who are broken spirited long enough, your spirit will break too, because misery loves company. So I brought that up because time is our most valuable resource. All right, let's get to this next. I'm sure the comments are off the chain. All right, I gotta get to some of this. So the next thing we're gonna do is do some of the comments of the day. Now, these comments came from videos this week. I'm gonna run through these very quickly. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below or in the live chat, and we'll get there. These are the comments. All right. All right, this was from the Lonely Single Men video, the dark truth about lonely single men. Dredius Shadows. Y'all got to excuse me because now your boy got to read. All right, there we go. All right, it says, thank you for the video. It is a hard topic to discuss. Too many people point fingers at the nice guy, the simple and toxic masculinity just to diminish or turn a blind eye to the real problem. And then Benjamin85 says, thanks. 31-year-old male here. Been lonely/single for almost 10 years now. Been improving my finances and fitness for the last 5 years, hoping this would help, but sadly nothing. I am making constant attempts through online dating, but most women just won't budge. It is frustrating as I want kids and make plenty of money to support them, but can't find a girl to be intimate with. Venting here to hopefully calm the depression. This was a real comment that I had on this is a real comment, man. This is what TSG Uncut is all about, a place that men can be able to vent these things without the judgment, without the eyes, right? To be able to talk about these things. And when I hear women come against men who are venting and just saying what's on their mind, I'm going to block you. Straight up. I ain't got no place for that here. Because I want men to be able to share their stories like this and feel they have a safe space to do so. To me, that is one of the most important tenets to this channel, which is why I'm very careful about what is said on this channel, especially in terms of people just venting what they feel. All right? I want this to be a space to do so. And this is a real issue. This is a real issue. I urge you to check out all these videos from last week so you can see some of this stuff, right? All right, next one. Now, this was from the YouTube short I did where the woman came out and the men had red balloons in their hands, and if they didn't if they felt her, they didn't pop the balloon, but if they didn't like her, they popped their balloon. Okay. This is what it says. So Fiona says she didn't look submissive. Are you kidding with this? And I had to tell her, relax. It's just a YouTube short. I said it got your attention, didn't it? So I've already talked to you guys about what I feel about YouTube Shorts. Yes, I try to put out a message, but it's also going to be a quick message. It's also for entertainment. I realize that people that watch YouTube Shorts all day have short attention spans. Guess what? She made a comment. Got your attention. Did it. All right. King. Shout out to King, who always helps, comes out on his channel, always comments on everything. Nothing good was going to come from that overly extra name she pronounced. Right. And then PP Poo Poo Studios. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Hey, shout out to Misanthropic. Thank you for being here tonight. And then all valid reasons to reject a woman, but how did she display them? They knew nothing about her. So here's my answer to this comment, because this is not the first person. How did these men know all this stuff from when this woman just walked out onto the scene? And I wrote in both instances, my aunt told me something when I was 15 years old. She said, women know how far they want to go with you when after they first meet you. A woman will meet you and she may not even consciously, but at least subconsciously, she knows how far she's going to go with you. She already knows. She already has that. That's the level I would go with this dude. And I said, T, how do women know that? Or I asked her the same thing. She said, just the way it is, baby. So that's when she was telling me about dealing with women who appreciate you. If she don't see you, move on. Okay? There was a study done, and this is the last thing I'm going to say on this one. There was a study done that when men see women that they're not attracted to, they have a feeling of like disgust. Like it's like, ugh, right? That's how men feel. The study said that when women come across men that they are not attracted to, the study says that they don't see them. It's like they're not there. Found it interesting. See, men had a reaction. Women just don't even see those dudes. So if you've ever been around a woman who you were attracted to and it seemed like she's not paying attention to you, if she's really not attracted to you, she doesn't even see you unless you can do something for her. But most of the time they just kind of see past you like you're not even there. And I see it all the time in these nightclubs out here, right? The superficial women, they look right past you. If you're not of a certain status, they don't even see you. I don't know how you can walk past people and they just don't even acknowledge that you're even a person. But that's what some women do. Anyway, good night, Organic. Back to you, baby. And then she also put out another book recommendation, How to Lie with Statistics by Daryl Huff. Of course. He just becomes invisible to her. Absolutely. Wilbur says, brother, you have a blessed week and weekend. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Please stop smoking loony baloney. It's driving y'all crazy. That loony baloney. All right. So let's get back to this. I want to run through these real quick. Okay. Tammy says, now we putting ourselves on an auction block. Say no to slave mentality. And I told her, I said, don't be acting like this ain't been going on for years on dating shows or shows where they try to match people together. I'm inclined to agree because I think it is silly to put oneself on these shows and expect to find love. I said, that's my opinion. So here it is. You're talking about people being on an auction block. These women and these men decide to go on these type of shows. So I've only presented to you what has already been what's already been on TV. And listen, we can sit here and judge all we want to. Okay. Now, I think that uniquely, I'm at the point in my life that if I was asked to be on some type of TV show or talk show or, even one of these dating shows, would I be inclined to go? I would say no to a dating show because I know there's nothing to gain from that. Even though people say, well, Sean, it would blow up your channel. I'm like, yeah, but it would waste my time. Okay? So you had a lot of women come in these comments for a couple of these YouTube shorts. King says, damn, when they popped the balloon. And then Eric says, proud of y'all. I was proud of those young men too. Next one. This was the black woman that came on here and tried to shame Passport Brothers. Dre D says, I'm sure in a few months they'll try to reconcile with us when they realize more men keep leaving, but there's no repairing the relationship. All those kind of out of wedlock, all those kids out of wedlock aren't going to magically disappear. And as a Gen Z, the women in my generation still chase after thugs while looking down upon guys who decide to live honest. Listen, I disagree with one thing he said. He says in a few months they'll reconcile. I don't think it's going to change. And if you guys know my stance on this, I've said this before in the past. I don't think this is going to change until most of us have died out. Facts. I think there's going to be an issue that's going to take multiple generations to correct and or fix. And by then, I think that this next generation, it depends on where the powers that be want to swing this economy. Because right now, every indication is that they're just trying to drain as much money out of people. So until this empire falls or collapses, the model is making as much money as possible, getting rich as possible, and keeping poor people as poor as possible. All right? Y'all got to realize what's going on out there. One of the reasons why Western women are mad and shaming Passport Brothers because they're losing their plan B after they get ran through by Pookies, Ray Rays, and Chads. Yep, facts. First of all, invisibility can be a superpower. Do you want predators to see you? I like that. I like that. I like that. I told you personally, I've already put on here in Misanthropic that I don't care. None of this stuff affects me, man. Listen. I've been working on my purpose for a minute, man. I'm coming up on in 2 years, less than 2 years, I'm gonna be on my 5th 5-year plan. This stuff don't affect me because I'm a man driven by my purpose. Hence the reason for this discussion tonight. I am getting there, but that's a great point. I like that. Neil says, hello, bro. Hey, what up, Neil, man? Thank you for being here. Make sure you go check out my buddy Neil. I have a Story to Tell's YouTube channel. Go check him out. Good friend of mine. He's been rolling with me before this channel had even. This dude was rolling with me before, when I had 300 subscribers, right? Jeremy Gilroy, thank you for being here. He says, hi, everybody. What up, man? He said, American black women love the Pookies and Ray Rays. They love the Pookie. They love them Ray Rays. I don't know why, bro. They love them. They love the drama. See, when you got problems and drama in your life, you want to attract to you what you are. You attract what you are. And if you keep getting drama, I told you, I don't attract my exes anymore because I ain't the guy that attracts those type of women anymore. If you're attracting the Pookies and the Ray Rays and those dudes, right? The Billies and the Cyruses, right? Then you're going to get what you get because that's what you're attracting. This same video, Edward says, now that men have options in getting their passports and going overseas, they want to get on social media shaming men for doing that. But men were not complaining about how Stella got her groove back and taking girls trips. Yeah, Stella, I remember when Stella got her groove back, came on, women were like, yes, yes, queen. The woman was like, yes, yeah, we can do it. We can all find us some Tay Diggs. We can all find him. And this was the beginning of thinking that all men that go on these trips are going to be able to get some young, strapping man to be able to blow their back out on their girls' trips. But I digress. Dre D says, I couldn't care less about these women. I'm sure Pookie's swag was worth spending the rest of her life as a single mother in a broke down house. And then Lloyd says, the first actually should have kept her mouth shut. Even if a man doesn't go overseas, he would not be choosing her, but she still thinks she's a 10. Yeah, some of the issues, man, with these women making these YouTube videos trying to shame men for doing what men want to do, but nobody has a problem when Stella go get her groove back. Okay. All right, this was the one with the brother that went viral. You guys may have seen this. Hopefully, y'all saw it on my channel and supported me in this. But the views say y'all didn't. Not you guys in here, but you guys didn't see it, support the video. All good though. I'm not mad. I moved on to the next one. All right, there's a couple things I want to highlight. The bottom one, that's that big ass comment. I'm gonna read that next. But the one thing I want to highlight is what Mr. Jackson said. Mr. Jackson said, yes, he should be responsible for his reckless attitude, but her body, her choice. A man can only be reckless with relations as a female lets him. And I kind of believe that too, man. Women are the gatekeepers. Women are the gatekeepers of relations. A man cannot enter a woman unless she allows him to. And if she doesn't, then it is a crime. Hear me again. If a man enters into a woman, it is consensual. And if it is not, it is a crime. And that man should be prosecuted if he really did do that. But women sometimes will lay with a man and have buyer's remorse. And that is not the same thing as a crime. And they will go tell their people that someone assaulted them so that they can get away from their shame instead of owning up that they had a 304 moment. They opened their legs, but it's his fault. And you have women that tell men, well, y'all need to stop laying down with these women. Y'all need to stop it. If y'all stop laying down with these women, well, look, a man's going to lay down. If a woman opens her legs, a man's going to lay down with her. But he cannot do it unless she allows it. Stop the cap. All right? God dang, I got to get through some of these comments real quick. I love when cats talk about purpose-driven lives and approaches to life. Yeah, man, I am a living testament to it, Misanthropic. You know, again, I got to give it in small doses, but that's what this channel is really about. That's my overall goal and purpose. Salute. I appreciate you. Preston says ugly attracts ugly. Absolutely, man. Yes, you attract who you are. Facts. Exactly. And if you are attracting something that isn't beneficial to you, that isn't making you a better person, that isn't bringing benefit to you, that isn't an asset, then you need to let it go. Then you need to also, if you keep attracting it, then you got to ask yourself, why do I keep attracting this same thing? Then you have to look within yourself at that point. And I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you have to look within yourself and say, why am I attracting this? Got to ask yourself. Carl says, bro, you ain't got no job, no car or home, but 5 baby mamas, our women, I need 2 of his babies. That's funny. Jermaine says, I remember when black women loved the TV show Scandal. Ooh, facts. Yep. They're Ray Ray's leftovers from a STD on Loser Street to a peace sleeve, itchy, scratchy. Oh my God. Preston with these statements, bro. Oh man. All right, Jermaine, their favorite show was about a side chick. WTF. Yep. Jermaine says Western women don't believe in accountability. Not at all. You lay down with dogs, you get fleas. That's a good one. That's an old one. The West promotes 304 culture and rejects accountability. Absolutely does. You have to ask yourself, gentlemen, why is this stuff being promoted? And I had some videos that we're going to bring up, but I don't know if I want to do a video on it, whatever, but it's like, think about why this stuff is being promoted. And I don't want to get into it because it's off subject from tonight's topic, but it is what it is, okay? So let's read this next one because this dude leaves he leaves a long one. I'm going to try to read through it quickly. His actions should match his words. Don't bust up in, I got to be careful. Don't nut in people and expect them to adhere to your moral standards. Not everyone thinks of deletion of a baby or Plan B as a moral form of birth control. The only thing she is required to do is follow the law. She doesn't have to take a Plan B or get a deletion. He doesn't have to wear a protection or get a vasectomy. But when the baby comes, he will be required to pay child support. I hate child support, but this F-boy makes me wish the government charged him more per child. This is deplorable behavior. And should women be more responsible for who they lay with? Women get to consent to relations just like men. The question is dumb to me because he wasn't careful enough to sleep with women who were cool with deletions, birth control, and Plan B. I'm not responsible for my wife's actions. She is responsible for my actions. However, we are responsible for our own actions. This is dumb, and I hate this for our people. I think he was really venting about people taking accountability for their own actions. And this guy was, the guy on there was like, I told these women I ain't want no kids and from the beginning, and they should have just not had the kids. But you got to, one thing, this is stupid logic because this young man needs to understand. There are some women who will purposely try and get pregnant as a come up. And I know this for a fact because on this channel, on a live stream, I did one of the profiles of a woman who was on Tinder, and she talked about looking for a donor. And I'm not talking about like a donor and go to the hospital. She was looking for somebody to skeet up because she wanted to have another kid. Who would be stupid enough to take her up on that? Because soon as she has your Dana, soon as she got your Dana up in her, all right, she can hold you legally, financially accountable for that offspring that you just created. But guys don't realize that, and they're willing to not take accountability for it. But women have to take accountability for laying down with these Pookies and Ray Rays and wonder why the dudes ain't no good fathers. It's stupid. All right, next one. All right. Blue Check says the woman has all the consequences, all the choices, zero consequences. Once a pregnancy occurs, the man has zero choices and has to accept whatever the woman wants. The woman gets to choose which man she lays with. The woman can choose from a dozen forms of birth control. The woman can choose deletion as a last resort. And the woman can choose to put a baby up for adoption. If the woman chooses to have the baby, the man is financially responsible for the child for 18 years. That's life in a matriarch. And then I said some things. And then he says, indeed, the welfare state evicted the black father from the household. Chaos ensued, and the parasites of the government grew larger. That started in the late 1960s. Now the father is demonized constantly, and the single mother sits up on a pedestal. But it sounds like you already knew this stuff, so I won't go on. But I did subscribe. So I did get a subscriber out of this. Yay to TSG Uncut. Thank you, guys. All right. Now, this was from the one. So this was the one of the recent YouTube shorts. It was a 2-part YouTube short. So you may not have clicked on it because it was me in the same shirt on the cover. So go check it out. And I could tell that some people thought they had already watched it because the view count was lower on the second one. But both of these shorts, so part 1 and a part 2, one was talking about the child support system, and the other one was talking about having a good dude who he is taking care of the kids' needs. He's paying for when you have something broke. He fixes it. He pays for it. When you need a little extra something, he tear you off. He isn't on child support, but that dude is taking care of his kid, and he's still taking care of that woman. And yet and still, she listened to one of her girlfriends and wants to put this man on child support. This is what the 2 YouTube shorts were about. If you haven't seen it, go on the channel later after this video and go check it out, okay? MC says men need to start pushing for child support cards, a debit card or whatever for child support that the mother can only use on groceries or clothes and basic stuff for the child, not to get her hair done or pay for jewelry and stuff. What do you guys think about a child support card where it can only be used for goods that will benefit the child, not for the stuff that she can get personally? If it's child support, that the money goes toward something that benefits the child. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay. And then I said some women would lose their shit. And then Sergeant 144 says, just like an EBT card, brilliant, brilliant, sir. Okay. Now, this one didn't get a lot of love either, but this was a clip I took from, it's only a 3-minute video. Check it out if you get a chance, please. Neil wrote, so this was me showing this one woman who cold cocked a dude, knocked him out of the bowling alley. And another little clip was showing a woman trying to fight a man. And in that exchange, I just wanted to show y'all those behaviors. So that's what this video was about. Real quick. Neil says, yes, a lot of women just co-sign a lot of wrong. It's really bad. And I talked about that. You should see the comments, right? I always talk about that. And then I'm going to read some of what King said on there. King says, the time that dude took to think about being rational and responsible pretty much took him out. So him being rational and responsible, she was able to cold cock him over the head with a bowling ball is what King is saying. People are disgusting for recording things as a natural instinct. It's stuff like this that makes me wish that this technology would disappear. I guarantee you that the hostile one and the cackling recording bystanders would not go unpunished in China. True. Okay. You guys got a number of comments going. T-Max says, West. Oh, yeah. We already read that one. It is more interesting to see normies and manispherians fill this 7 baby mama maker story. I thought it was important to bring up. I thought it was important because on this channel, Misanthropic, we talk about, I always talk about men being, stepping up, being accountable. And so we have to talk about that stuff, right? In some respects, look, the cynical me, and this is me saying that the cynical me kind of laughed about this situation, okay? But when I thought about the impact of those 7 lives that this man brought in the world, not thinking, because in his head, he was like, well, look, I said I didn't want no kids, so they want to get me for child support, but I said I didn't want no kids. Like, are you that stupid? So Misanthropic, the reason why I bring up that type of, the reason why I brought that content to light is because I hope other men who think like this man sees it. And I hope that other men that think it's responsible to go skeet up in these 304s and think there's no consequences, I hope they get a reality check from it. So we got to talk about it all. Next one. So this was the last video, worse than we thought. It's so this is dating for men from the perspective of modern women. You guys got to go check that video out if you haven't seen it yet, okay? This is women giving their thoughts about how men should date or what men go through with the dating process, okay? So King says, dinner. So the woman's interest in a man is determined by a meal and the atmosphere it's served in? What's sad is that they actually believe this while having several different meal offers in rotation. Do not allow these high expectation having broads to set your standards for dating and relationships. And then Docker says, or Joker, meal dates are scams, period. Trying to impress women doesn't work. At best, you will impress yourself into being a sugar daddy, or at worst, present yourself a sucker and will be used. Less is always more in dating. If any reasonable, attractive male took her out for coffee and a walk in a park, she would go. If she says no to that, then she's just not into you like that. She just puts the minimum effort, all right? Let me get to Misanthropic's comment. Cynical me thinks he is trolling, but that troll is becoming a flashpoint of discussion, which may be helpful to some dudes. That's exactly the whole point. Listen, I'll put up clips and some people are like, that ain't real, right? Like, I don't care if it's not real or not. Does that change the points? Does that change that this is not something that's going on in our society today, modern society today? It is. So I think that even for like the first video I put up, the dude has a channel where he basically trolls or, you know, plays a prank channel on these 304s, but these are real women who jump in the car and think they like, oh, well, what you gonna do for me? These are real women. Everything he's doing is a setup. The women he set up are real, right? So does that lessen the fact that that's not what's going on in modern dating culture and modern Western society? No, it doesn't change it. Even I use movie clips to illustrate points. Why? Because it's happening. So we need to talk about it. All right. Yeah, I understand being cynical though. Oops. Oh, I guess we ran through all those. Okay. Look like we're done with that. All right. Give me 1 second because we're already at 2.5 hours. I want to get up out of here. So I have some picks, 5 picks, profiles of the day, right? Let me put that up on the screen because I'm trying to be better at this. So now we're doing profiles of the day. I have a few profiles for you. We're going to run through them pretty quickly. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about these. All right, let's get to it. All right, so this first clip was, y'all ever sucked beep and went to his boys downstairs and his booty stank a little bit? And this woman says no, and it's not funny. These and a woman, and you can't see here in the little thing, but she got like all white hair. Like, who gets this thing? Got 1 million views. Jesus. Wow. But like, listen, women ain't got no problem putting this kind of stuff on the internet. No tact. They don't care, man. They do not care. Let's get to the next one. This woman put me wondering if I looked fat while he had me folded up like that. Look, I'm gonna tell you something, baby. That dude is not worried about if he got you folded up and he beating them guts in. He not worried about if you looking fat at the moment. Okay, that's not the indicator he think you fat. But if you worried about your fat, if you fat because of your self-consciousness, which I know women say that, like, you know, women have said that too. Like, you know, men get self-conscious all the time, you know, when it comes to being in the bedroom, you know, am I doing this right? This, that, the third. But women are self-conscious too. You know what I mean? And so that's a little free game. I ain't gonna tell you what to do with it, but understand that both men and women are self-conscious in the bedroom for one thing or another. Okay. This was from Psychology Today a few years ago, 2.5 years ago. Record number of Americans have never married and never will. This is where we're living at, gents. And we already know that there's a projection that like 45 to 50% of women, single women, or women will be single by 2030. Okay. So you're going to have women who just are single. And by the looks of it, right, it looks like it's going to be here to stay, man. Look like in modern Western culture, this is going to be the norm. So take that what you will, guys. That's kind of, I brought this up to go into the topic today about being on your purpose. You know, maybe you might have to leave this country. Maybe you might just have to leave the region of the country where you live at. Some people are like, man, there ain't no women nowhere. And it's like, well, where have you been at before? And they'd be like, well, I mean, I've been to a few cities around here. I'm like, bro, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of there. Now, listen, all of us gents live in all different parts of the country and all different parts of the world. And we're seeing it in all different parts, but it doesn't mean it's everywhere. So you can't look at just your region and make one decision on that, okay? Something to keep in mind. Okay. Now this one is a dude. This is a dude who think he's saying the right things, but he is indeed simping for the other side, okay? This dude is, I don't, what's that term for dudes that are sucking up the women? Simps. Let's just leave it there. Okay. He's simping. So this dude wrote, a lot of men and other people have unconsciously accepted that being a man comes with a lack of actual discipline, incompetent parenting, and an inclination for infidelity to the point where holding men accountable for those things seems absurd. So he's saying a lot of men have accepted that being a man means lack of discipline, incompetent parenting, and inclination for infidelity. I've already talked about the numbers on this channel that I believe the statistics said 27% of men cheat, 24% of women. But I am pretty certain that that number is higher for women, right? A lot of women won't state what they're doing. But this here might be the type of men that he's seeing and dealing with, but this is not the majority of men. This dude is just as bad, throwing all these statistics about men onto all men, right? Because this is not facts, right? Especially like, at least in the black community, half of 51% of black men are single and childless. The other 30% are in the marriage spectrum, kids by marriage. So it means the rest of them are the Pookies and the Ray Rays and them the same dudes having 7 kids by 7 different baby mamas. So it's not a lot of dudes. It's the same dudes, okay? Let's read those. Oh, he got more to say, you guys. It gets worse. And also, there's this burden on women. He trying to throw it at other people. Let's just stick with what he originally said. There's this burden on women to do the impossible work of finding the unlikely men who are the good men. You can see this when you try to tell men that we can, in fact, try to educate other men to be better, and they respond with, that's not going to work. Cap. What have I been talking about on this channel, gents? What is the title of tonight's? What is tonight's title? Don't worry, I'll wait. Why men must be on their purpose from now on. I don't tell you guys to do what I'm not doing. I don't tell you guys nothing that I haven't done or not capable of doing. I tell you guys really to live your best lives, whatever that means for you guys, as long as it ain't hurting nobody else, right? But this dude is white knighting. That's it, Jermaine. White knighting. So this guy is saying that women have the impossible task of finding good men. But I will push back and say that the reason that women are having trouble finding good men is because those good men are the ones they put in their friend zone. Those good men are the ones that they're corny. Those good men are the ones they diss, and they wait until they damn near hit the wall in order to say, you know what? You looking pretty good now, baby. No, don't call me now. Do not call me now. When I wanted you when you had your youth and you were at your best, you weren't checking for me. But now that nobody wants you, you think I'm supposed to pick up your scraps? Hell no. Hell no. That ain't going to happen. And as far as what did I say earlier? On this channel, I talk about my message to men. It has not changed. And if that's not something you can rock with, then I might not be the channel for you. But here's the thing. If you want to change your circumstance, then at some point you got to stop blaming others and you have to look at the man in the mirror. You got to ask him to change his ways. And my message couldn't be any clearer. Oh my God. Oh, Sean, you a fool, man. All right. All right, let's get to the last of these comments, and then we're gonna be up out of here. All right. Damn, how far back am I? Damn, a lot of comments. All right. All right. Preston said, "Love is a child support war, or child support divorce war." Yep. Love is a child support divorce war. Yes, it is. The money should go to school supplies or rent at the end. Yep, that's one thing. T-Mac, you can thank Eminism for that. Yep. That guy is definitely smoking stupidity trees. Yeah, he was. Subscribe to your channel. We black men need the encouragement. And Wilbert, as long as you are a gen of this channel, I will continue to provide it, my friend. Thank you. Your support, your watching the videos, all helps, man. Biggest thing is watching the video all the way through and leaving a comment. If you can't donate financially like some people do here, then donate by your give me your time with the watch and your comment and your thoughts on the videos. That helps so much, gents. Helps so much. Okay. Carl says, I don't believe he has 7 kids and no child support. I think he is capping for his 15 minutes. Yeah, it might be, man. Look, I'm not saying that this dude wasn't trying to get his 15 minutes of fame. But does that change the message needing to get out there to these young men who think this is an okay, viable way to live their lives? No. We talk about accountability here for women on this channel. We're going to talk about accountability for men on this channel. Okay? Misanthropic says, okay, we talked about that. Preston says, impress the money, not the honeys. Misanthropic says, I had a womanizer and an F-boy phase. Some women really dig that energy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I regret all of that behavior, but it adds to my redemption arc. I like that. I like that. But, you know, we all have a character arc in our life. And I feel that way about myself, too. I actually can relate to everything you said in there, right? Let's put it this way, Misanthropic. I'm trying to be better. And I've tried for many years to be better. I'll put it that way. I want a redemption arc too. That doesn't involve me tragically having to get there, which I already been in that car accident, so hopefully that's enough. Jermaine says, Western one will be lonely with box wine and a house full of cats. Right? Dudes, get your passports. Yep. A dude named Bella. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Oh, yeah, that dude on the thing. Yeah. Women around the world dream of being a wife. The odds are in our favor as men. That's right, man. So listen, a couple of guys on this tonight was talking about, like, you know, what it is. Work on yourself. Work on your purpose, man. Continue to operate so you can put yourself in a position of power financially, man. And in that way you can get up out of here, man, and you can see that there's so many options out there, man, for us to be worried about a woman who's going to leave you and take half of your shit, who's going to break your heart, who's going to leave you in a position that you are now a broken man and you don't trust women. If a woman has you where you can't fix yourself from trusting women again, listen, listen, I trust women about as much as I trust anybody. You have to build up time with me. But am I bitter? No. Am I angry? No. This stuff doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. Because the type of women that do this stuff, I don't allow in my life anymore. If a woman is going to give me the time and the attention or affection I need, then I'm going to go on. I'm going to do what I got to do. Okay? I will not stop what I'm doing because somebody can't get on my program. I'm not going to do it. Misanthropic says, internet loves cats. Bless those women for housing and feeding our entertainment. Simpson White Knights. Yep, thank you. Preston says they're called monkey sims with fun dip. Oh, man, fun dip, man. That fun dip, man, used to be, man, that fun dip get in the back of your throat, bro. You can almost choke to death on some fun dip. The previous generation has taught them that making mistakes is what it means to grow up. The old heads do not teach how to do better and not make mistakes. Yeah, man, you have to teach both, man. You can't just say, well, you know what? You're going to make some mistakes. And it's okay. Keep making mistakes, but get better. Be like, no. Listen, that talk shouldn't happen until after the mistakes happen. What I'm saying is that first talk should be, don't do this shit. I just had this talk with my daughter today. She sent me something. She sent me this little clip meme, and it's about, she's like, well, I get depressed, I get ADHD and all this stuff, or whatever. Okay. But it's giving them different advices. She's hearing different advice based on different symptoms. And so what I did under that thing that my daughter sent me, I said, listen, do what you want to do. I said, you know what? At the end of the day, follow your own advice. Make your own mistakes. I said, you have a father in your life. And I said, look at my life, which is not perfect, but look at my life compared to the other people in your family's lives. Look at it. And tell me that your dad or your father isn't doing okay for himself. Go ahead. I would put my life up against and say, you know what? I'm doing fairly well for myself. I've accomplished a lot. I've accomplished things that most people will never experience and ever go through in their life. I've come through money that people may never see. All right? I've had all of that. And I said, you have a father, so you can choose to listen to me and take the advice and the examples I've given you, or you can just do it on your own. Good luck. Good luck. And that's what I wrote to her. Okay? So, y'all want to listen? You ain't got to listen. I'm just telling you, I've been through some things. You can listen or not. It's your choice. I'm going to be okay. Okay? TSG and red pill notwithstanding. Yep, I can understand. Yep, I understand. You can't let anything pull you off your purpose. Nothing. Hear me again. You might have some bad days on your way to your purpose, but your purpose is what keeps you grounded in what you need to do. When you get lost, even if you suffer from depression and all these different things, when the road seems bleak, it's the purpose. What am I doing in my life? You know what you're supposed to be doing in your goddamn life. You have a purpose. You've laid out your goals. You said where you want to see yourself. What are you doing? Get your shit together. Get your shit together. All right? Period. If I showed y'all, I have a whiteboard over there. I write stuff down. I usually don't have to look at it because I've been doing this long enough. As soon as I write it down in a little mark, I just start doing it. Subconsciously, I see the whiteboard every day. But as I'm going through my day or my week, I start accomplishing those things on the whiteboard because I wrote it down. And people that write things down have a higher percentage chance of accomplishing them than people that don't. If you don't write shit down and your life isn't where it is, I've already helped you. You should be making out weekly plans for your life. You got 2 hours and sitting in front of a TV. You got 2 hours to be working on some bullshit. You got 2 hours to be in a bar or a club, but you don't have like 30 minutes, 15 minutes to sit down and write out what you need to get done for the week. These are things that I wish people had taught me before I got to the military. These are little things that I learned as a leader that made me more like a very, very good at administration, very good at managing the thousands of people that I've managed in my 20-year career in the military. And I was good. If you're not writing this shit down, you are messing up. Okay? Excuse my French. Mr. Top says it is true that some men will never value self-accountability, but those that try will find glory and freedom. And I totally agree with this statement as well. Carl says they don't want a good man until 4 Ray-Ray's bastards and 40 extra pounds catch them. True. Carl says, I hear you, Mike. Woo. Ennis says, that's facts, bro. These chicks stay playing themselves. They finally want you after they hit the wall. Yeah, man. Too late. The balance is teaching them to learn from their mistakes, not becoming complacent with always making them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm a widowed father. Chris, thank you for being here today. I'm a widowed father of 2 kids. Sorry to hear that, brother. And I'll be 35 this year after my kids is grown and out of the house. I'm going to find my next wife overseas. I'll be 43 then. Yep. And my focus is my kids, gym, saving money, and traveling. Well, Chris, you'll be damn near my age at that point. And that sounds like everything I have focused in my plans. Look at that right there, bro. And I'm telling you, life is goddamn beautiful. And my birthday is next month. I'm trying my hardest to get back to Mexico for either my birthday or to be the week after in May. I'll go back in May. And hopefully I got the Patreon because I'll put all that stuff on the Patreon, okay? I'll let you guys know when the Patreon comes up. One of the first places I'll announce the Patreon being active will be on this live stream because this is for you guys. These are for the gents, okay? I make these, I don't even monetize these live streams. I do this so that you guys got access to me and I got access to you guys in real time. Thank you, Chris, for sharing your story. I appreciate you, man. Good luck to you on your journey. I appreciate you. Misanthropic says, 2023, more machines than people are learning. Resist the dystopia. Upgrade your gray matter because one day it may matter. I agree with that, man. This AI stuff is scary. What was your branch? I used to be in the Army. I'm retired Navy, man, submarines. Damn, Chris, you holding it down. Salute. Yep. Chris says, I'm medically retired from the military and I got family here. Okay, good. Yeah. I just got back from Rio and had the time of my life. Ooh, event. I want to go there, man, one of these days. But I'm trying to keep working on my Spanish right now. And then eventually I'll learn the Portuguese I need to go to. I know you don't need it, but I would love to learn the Portuguese. Okay. And then Carl says, again, salute. And then Chris says, I appreciate you. You guys, thank you so much for being here today. I want to give a shout out to Chris for being here. I want to give a shout out to Carl. I want to give a shout out to Misanthropic. Thank you. Ennis, thank you for being here. Who else was up in here? Steel Saint, man, thank you for being here as always. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for Preston for always coming off the top rope with these comments, man. Jermaine, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'll get back to T-Mac in a second. Who else do we have up in here? Wilbert McBride, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. Who else did we have up in here? Shout out to my brother Neil. I have a story to tell. Go check out his channel and subscribe to him, please. Shout out to my beautiful sister Organic for always giving me balance here on this channel. I appreciate her. I know it seemed like I was mad, but I wasn't. Just making it all good. Okay. Hold up. Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Shout out to my brother Lucis, man. Thank you. Missed this brother being up on the channel. Shout out to my boy, my brother Ren Rodriguez for being here. I thank you for being here. Thank you for always sharing your story. Where is my damn super chats, y'all? Shout out to Jay's Randomness channel, man. Appreciate Jay's Randomness channel. All right, here we come to. Shout out to T-Mac for the $10 super chat, man. Again, everything that you guys contribute to this channel helps. Couldn't do it without you all. Matter of fact, again, you can do a super chat or Cash App. I appreciate it all. Who else do we have up in here? Thank you to Ennis for the $2 super chat. Again, everything helps. We have also Rondo Smallfoot. Thank you very much for coming through tonight. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed anybody so far. We got Trev T that came through. I appreciate it. We also got my brother 4Up. Always appreciate him. And then we also got Donsky Chan TV. Another person. Check him out, please. All right. Who else do we have up in here? We have Born to be Black. Thank you for being here tonight. We have Take Heed to the Message. Obong. Anwan. Thank you for being tonight here, sister. Always supportive. I think that's everybody. I think I captured everybody. Oh, we got a new comment. Let's see what's going on. Chris Jet, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Again, everything you guys contribute to the channel helps to build this channel up. I reinvest everything back in this channel. This camera you guys bought, this mic you guys bought, I upgraded the software so that the quality is better. This guy is your channel, man. This is why, like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I did not feel like coming on tonight. Whatever I did at the gym, my body needed some rest, man. I've been going hard at the gym for the last couple of days, and I think it caught up with me. But I said, you know what? I'm going to still do this chat. I'm going to still do this live stream tonight. And I'm going to tell you right now, I did this live stream, and I feel a lot better doing it. Thank you, guys. And thank you for the $5 super chat. Chris, I appreciate it so much. Seriously. Super sticker. I appreciate it. All right. So you guys, man, again, I'm going to try to have a couple more videos out for the week. If I do not get a video out on Friday, it's because I was probably planning to go to the cigar bar on a Friday. I'm going to film that stuff. All these little things that I film while I'm out here living in Vegas, I plan to put up on the Patreon channel exclusively for the subscribers on the Patreon so that you can see what I see in real time. And as time goes on, I'm going to get more content, right? I'm going to make sure the content is more organized, okay? So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here tonight. Thank you, everyone who contributed. Thank you to everyone who contributed tonight. Question of the night, though, question of the day before we get up out of here. Should women be more responsible for holding other women accountable for their actions? Or is it better for channels like this to continue to educate and inform more men what is out there? What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments below after we exit this. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Again, I can't stress that enough. Thank you for everybody for the super chat. I'll see you guys next week. I'll have a video out tomorrow, I promise. So y'all stay tuned for that. And until next time, live your best life.